as we wait for the Bucs to announce their next head coach, the team hits the floor again tonight against the Cavs. Brandon Snide has sports at 6:15.
Kenosha Unified Schools, the latest district to address the issue of book bans. TMJ4's Miriam McCarr has more on how the district is adjusting its book review policy.
The old book review policy took about a month for each book. KUSD Superintendent Jeffrey Weiss says with nearly 40 challenges, that old policy would take 4 years to complete.
Policy that was written in 2000, I'm sure was not written with an eye to dealing with 38 book challenges and how to get through all of that work while still running a district.
The new protocol passed 3-2 by the school board earlier this week. It requires those challenging books to have read them in their entirety while also beginning the challenge at the school level before going to the district.
After 26 years, the Hunger Task Force will have new leadership.
I'll be turning 65 soon, so why not?
Longtime CEO Sherry Tussler announcing her retirement effective in June. Tussler tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News she considered retiring prior to the pandemic, but
I think it made us grow. And I feel good about what I did during that time.
Tussler says their work during that time was as essential as it gets.
We ended up serving the entire state of Wisconsin and leveraging resources from the federal government and getting them out to groups that are in need in rural, remote, indigenous areas and then urban areas like Milwaukee.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Does your beloved Stanley Cup contain lead?
TikTok has exploded with videos of users testing theirs after it came out that they do have some lead in them.
I am doing the testing for the Stanley, and it is testing positive for lead.
But according to representatives from the company, while the vacuum insulation technology used in the tumblers requires an industry standard pellet, they say it's covered with a stainless steel layer so it's not dangerous while you're sipping. The company's website says in the rare occurrence the base cap of the product comes off due to ordinary use and exposes the seal, it's eligible for a lifetime warranty. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
How many Stanley Cups are in your house?
Just one.
Just one.
I thought you meant the Stanley Cup. That's what I was like confused. Like, what?
Get with the times, Debbie.
And dudes are want to drink from that cup, so right. I hope that was
That's what I was saying.
We should test that one, but something else might come up. Who knows?
6:10 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, Gene Miller here. The heart of winter is the best time to call my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. Save heating and cooling dollars down the road with energy-efficient replacement windows and doors from brands like Pella, Anderson, Marvin, and more. Hometown is your local source for wood, vinyl, or fiberglass, plus all of their products are installed by employee carpenters. Stop into their newly remodeled showroom in New Berlin and see the Hometown difference. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. HometownWindows.com.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why, through the end of February, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 13 years, Adam has provided more than 2.4 million meals to people in southeastern Wisconsin. And now, the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
Great breaded, sautéed, or fried, Sendix is featuring large, raw, cleaned, and butterflied shrimp for just $4.99 per pound. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendix, your trusted local grocer since 1926. Debbie.
All right. Well, right now we are looking pretty good. No major delays around the area. Just have a broken down vehicle on 4394 heading in the northbound direction right about at Beecher. Not really in traffic. Visibility is not great, though, so just be extra careful. Even when the sun comes up, you're going to need to have your headlights on. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, a chance for scattered showers, areas of fog with highs topping out in the mid and upper 30s. Rain tapers off tonight with more areas of patchy fog as lows dip back into mid 30s. Outside of some patchy fog on Saturday, it's mostly cloudy and mild with highs in the upper 30s. We'll hold on to the cloud cover and mild conditions Sunday and Monday with highs in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. We'll look for a chance of morning rain showers, perhaps even a wintry mix, mostly cloudy with a high of 40. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 40 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
6:12 on Wisconsin's Morning News this Friday morning. You know I'm not a big birthday guy.
Oh, I know.
Right. But that's my choice with my birthday.
Sure,
I don't
right.
begrudge anyone else the various celebrations they wish
You'll
to
celebrate
have.
with anyone, you just don't like to celebrate your own.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We got one today that we're going to celebrate a bit.
Hey, Bob, it's Susan Varela.
And Andrew Varela.
We are Broadway performers who have come back home to live in Milwaukee, and we'd like to wish you happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bob. Happy birthday to you. Have a great day.
Bob who? We say Bob in Milwaukee. Of course, we're talking about our local treasure, Hall of Fame broadcaster Bob Uecker, 90 years old today.
I get as fired up as I did when I first started doing this.
Universally beloved, Mr.
Oh my
Baseball.
gosh, the best out there.
Did some angels this morning out in the snow to celebrate.
How many you got?
Oh,
about
ton.
1,000?
A ton.
Put away the snow plow and come on out.
That's one of my favorites.
You don't like this one, you don't like sliced bread. That's what I say. What a game.
So yeah,
about that
Ueck's
sliced
birthday
bread?
today. Ricky Weeks, remember him? He's back now. He's part of the coaching staff now, former second baseman. He just talked to our folks at WTMJ yesterday and discussed what he remembers from what made Ueck so special for the guys in the clubhouse.
And I remember him coming into the clubhouse every single day, going to the back of the training room, getting inside the pool and swimming every single day. And I used to wonder why he would do that. So me and him would talk a lot about, why he did that. And he said, honestly, he just wanted to be around the guys. And he just wants to be one of the guys. And the thing I got from him the most was how humble he was to guys that we thought that he was bigger than us. And him coming around, being very quick-witted and still being, quick on, his comebacks and jokes and things like that. I think it feels good for everybody else to kind of be around him, and that's why Ueck is Ueck, and we appreciate him for for everything that he's done in baseball, and especially for the city of Milwaukee and for the Milwaukee Brewers. So, hats off to Bob, and happy birthday to him.
Man, I mean, you think about the generational gap between today's ball players and Ueck. I mean, and yet the young guys love him.
Oh yeah, love it when he's down there,
and then he loves them back, and it's a special relationship. So. Happy birthday to Bob Uecker, 90 years old today.
You don't mess around with Tony Danza either. You tell Tony Danza, look, why are you the captain? Bang, he smokes you, man. Really? Yeah. I've known Tony a long time. Former boxer, not much of a puncher, pretty good dancer. Here's a ball down low, and it's 2-1. Who's the boss? He is. Yeah.
We were driving to the store, Bob Uecker calling the play.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavini for the Bath Authority. If your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold and mildew, or broken tiles, you got to call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products, along with a world-class customer experience. Find out for yourself. Elevate your bathroom to a new level of luxury, style, and safety. Schedule your free in-home estimate today and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
Hey, did you know I had a wicked bad headache yesterday? Did I hide it well? Like wicked bad.
Well, I don't know. I thought it was just
my usual.
Vince on Thursday.
I'm bringing it in because I'm talking about Connect Chiropractic right here. About 6:30, like it was in my mind all
right?
day. So I had my regular Connect Chiropractic visit in Wauwatosa. I saw Dr. Dana yesterday. It doesn't always work out this way because we're working on long-term stuff, right? Overall health, and it's a big project. But I go in there yesterday still with this wicked bad headache, and I had like instant relief. Click here, click there, click, click, click. Again, I want to caution you. It doesn't always work that way with whatever's ailing you. Sometimes it takes a while to get, but I went in there yesterday, click, felt so much better.
Like $1 million?
Absolutely. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. Chiropractors at Connect Chiropractic use a pain-free tool for all of the adjustments. They focus on restoring proper nerve and muscle function. You can visit them now. It's Connect Chiropractic in Wauwatosa, and they've got a second location that just opened this week in Delafield as well. It's Go Connect Chiro. That's GoConnectChiro.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The 31-13 Milwaukee Bucks back in action tonight against the same team they beat on Wednesday, the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's been an up and down season for the Bucks, to say the least. Bucks guard Damian Lillard asked after Wednesday night's win if he thinks this team, given those ups and downs, has even touched their potential yet.
I don't. I think that's
one of the positives of where we are, considering that it's been kind of rocky and up and down to get here, being almost 20 games over 500, and still knowing that we haven't been the best version of ourselves. I think we should be encouraged by it, but we should also understand that it's a process to get there, and we got to keep fighting that fight and doing the things necessary to make sure that we continue to improve.
The Bucks, according to ESPN NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski, after firing Adrian Griffin after 43 games, have reportedly signed head coach Doc Rivers through the 2026-2027 season. That contract expected to be around $40 million in total.
They started talking yesterday afternoon through late last night and then nailed down a deal this morning. Yep. Doc, this is a multi-year deal. This is an organization that really didn't have a plan B if they didn't get Doc Rivers and didn't convince him to join them.
Bucks Cavs again tonight from Pfizer Forum. Tip-off set for 7 p.m. Bucks shoot-around will get you ready right here on WTMJ beginning at 6. Over to college hoops, where the UWM Panthers snapped their 2-game losing streak as they knock off Detroit Mercy on Thursday night in Milwaukee. This one by a final of 87-71.
Here's a steal by Pullian. KP back, and he will go up, and he'll put it down.
Scott Warris on the call over on 101.7 The Truth, as the Panthers, with that win last night, getting back to 500, currently sitting at 10-10 on their season. And sticking with college hoops, the 13th ranked Badgers returning to Madison tonight to take on Big Ten foe, the Michigan State Spartans. Tip-off tonight set for 7 p.m. And lastly, the Packers on the search for their next defensive coordinator after firing Joe Barry this week. ESPN's Rob Demoski weighing in with his thoughts on where Green Bay could be looking for in their next play caller.
Here's the thing that you have to ask. Does he want to stick with the similar scheme and just get new leadership, or does he want to, sort of blow it up and try something completely different from an X's and O's standpoint? But I would assume that if you're Matt LaFleur, regardless of what type of scheme you want, you've got to be more aggressive. You need to get the ball back to the offense as much as possible. He's got to figure out what best fits that sort of description for this defense.
Vinny, no names as of yet have been linked to the newest job opening in Titletown. I may drop my application later.
Might as well.
I got a few ideas.
Apparently it's wide open.
So we'll see. But no names yet.
I'd like the snide defense. Absolutely. 6:20 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. The latest in news.
TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson. What do you think is really going to happen?
It's going to be a busy week in the weather office for sure.
Entertainment.
Jeff Levering, pleasure to have you here today.
Season opener, it's right around the corner.
And more.
The weight of a lot of this snow now turning to ice. This is just a really dangerous situation for a lot of people.
Every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Flimsy, feeble, flaccid. That's how you can describe most pre-approval letters these days. Heck, a lot of big banks issue pre-approval letters using soft credit pulls instead of real credit reports. Do you really want to compete in today's still low inventory market with a soft credit pull and a pre-approval that's silent on 2 of the 3 critical elements of a mortgage approval? A rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet not only verifies your credit with a real credit report, we also verify your income and down payment, and then issue a letter with a $2,000 guarantee to back it up. And now, AccuNet is issuing property-specific pre-approvals that often come with this sweet phrase: no appraisal required. That's right, AccuNet may be able to issue your pre-approval at or above the seller's asking price without needing an appraisal. Today's home market is still a metaphorical knife fight. Your bank is offering you, well, a pocket knife. AccuNet is Crocodile Dundee. Now that's a knife, mate. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Checking in with Debbie here at 6:21.
All right. Well, so far we are looking actually pretty good across the area. No major incidents, and volume is relatively light as well. Visibility may not be all that great, so you do want to be extra careful. But for the most part, everything's good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast: chance of showers and areas of fog today with a high of 40 degrees. Rain tapering off, areas of fog tonight, low down to 35. For the weekend, high 38 on Saturday, 37 on Sunday. Both days just mostly cloudy. Right now at 40 in Milwaukee.
As most catchers do to each other, Paul LaDuca with a tap on the shin guard with his bat to Eddie Perez. When a catcher does that to you, it's a sporting gesture. Good luck tonight. Don't get hurt. When another catcher comes up to you and takes a full swing at you, then you know he's not your pal.
It's good advice. Bob Euchre, 90 years old today. Happy birthday, Bob. Great time to escape this gloomy weather. Head indoors for Museum Days. It runs through the weekend with free or reduced admission to attractions in Milwaukee and beyond. Debbie continues her series here, taking a look at a few of the locations participating.
So you're driving along Lincoln Memorial Drive and you look way up the hill and you see this Italian Renaissance villa? Not what you'd expect to see along Lake Michigan in southeast Wisconsin.
Lloyd and Agnes.
She means Lloyd and Agnes Smith of A.O. Smith fame.
They traveled to Italy together, and Agnes saw the wonderful Renaissance-style villas there, and she said, Lloyd, I want one, and I want it in Wisconsin.
Marketing director for Villa Terrace, Caroline Daniker, sat down with me and gave me the lowdown on this location, as well as the Charles Alice Art Museum. We'll get to that one in a minute.
They came back and they commissioned David Adler to build them a Renaissance-style Italian villa, and that's how we get the Villa Terrace Art Museum. And in the 40s, there is this transition. Lloyd passes away. Agnes moves out of the home. It sits empty relatively for most of the year. So when she hears that the War Memorial needs more space for its art, she says, well, I have this beautiful empty home which exemplifies craftsmanship. I'm going to donate my home to become an art museum.
And the rest, as they say, is history.
We do have a historic decorative arts collection, and then we host contemporary craft and decorative arts exhibitions throughout the year.
Not only that, but it's one of the premier wedding venues in the city. But Italian Renaissance? Here? Why Wisconsin?
Well, they're based here. Lloyd worked for the A.O. Smith Company. The family had 2 properties. And David Adler looks at these and he goes, well, if you fell in love with the Mediterranean, then obviously we're choosing the site that's on the bluffs of Lake Michigan.
Well, what about the Charles Alice Art Museum?
And Charles and Sarah Alice, they were incredibly wealthy industrialists and socialites with interests in art. The name may sound familiar in terms of West Alice.
That's right. It's that Charles Alice of Alice Chalmers fame.
They were incredible art collectors, so they were in love with art, and they built their home to be an art museum. They built it knowing that they were going to give it to Milwaukee someday.
So both locations were private homes, and both collections were donated to the city of Milwaukee to give the citizens the opportunity to learn even more about culture.
There's art to be seen in Wisconsin, and when you see that art, it reflects our community, it reflects our history, it reflects the peoples who have lived here. That's what we're seeing, and Museum Days is a chance, if you haven't taken that chance before, to take advantage and see the city, see what it has to offer, and really experience the culture and the arts available here.
So don't miss out on checking out these beautiful spaces. It's a pretty good deal.
We act traditionally on the idea of admission reciprocity. So you buy a ticket to one museum, you get admission to the other. So admission is typically $15. You can now get in for $5. And then, of course, children 12 and under are always free at our museums. So it's a great, very affordable family adventure.
And don't worry, you still have plenty of time to visit these as well as all the area museums participating in this year's Museum Days event. It runs through January 28th. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
And if you got a museum in particular you'd like to visit, just head to their website and see what sort of admission deals and promotions they are offering through the weekend as Milwaukee Museum Week wraps up. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average was up nearly 250 points in trading on Thursday to 38,049. The NASDAQ closed up almost 30 to 15,511. S&P 500 grew as well. It closed at 4894. That was up about 26 points. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com.
Jason Rose is the president CEO of AccuRite Tax and Financial Services. They have document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
I think it's very accurate to call it a partnership because it's more of a relationship that you build up over time.
And your practice has had document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems for years.
Yep, they know what you need, they know how to help, they're able to provide suggestions on future improvements or changes.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology company. Here for you today, helping you plan for the future.
It's a great deal. James Imaging is the real deal.
And Jason, the bottom line for your practice?
Keep us up and running, especially during tax season.
Keep your business up and running with document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Happy New Year from Heiser Automotive. There's no time like now to refresh your ride, whether that means a new car or making sure your current car is winterized and ready to go. For our customers, we've created the Safe and Sound program. Every sale includes the exchange program. Don't love it? Exchange it. Convenient service. Use our new mobile service van. We'll come to you. Lifetime roadside assistance and much more. Stop in or shop online. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve's committee for Universal Windows Direct. If you've been cold in your own house, do not suffer through one more winter in a cold and drafty home. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Schedule your free in-home estimate today, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free, plus a free upgrade to triple pane glass. And they'll double your energy tax credit. Tell them I told you to call and get an additional $250 off your project. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to universalwindowsdirect.com, and you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Wisconsin's Morning News National Anthem is powered by Weniger Compressor, American patriotism made in Wisconsin. The University of Wisconsin Marching Band.
Everything's looking great out on the roads. No major delays around the area, and we are at full freeway speeds. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Might still see some fog this morning along with a rain-snow mix across the area. That's where we sit right now. Some rain and snow in Milwaukee and currently 36 degrees.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The UN's International Court of Justice in The Hague says it will not throw out the case accusing Israel of genocide in Gaza. It could take years for it all to be investigated. Israel insists it is attacking Hamas, not the Palestinian people. For the first time since 1982, the U.S. has tried a new method of executing a death row inmate. Kenneth Smith in Alabama put to death using nitrogen gas. Witnesses say he writhed and struggled against the restraints in a procedure that took over 20 minutes. The UN's Human Rights Office weighing in.
We deeply regret the execution of Kenneth Eugene Smith in Alabama, despite serious concerns that this novel and untested method of suffocation by nitrogen gas may amount to torture, cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment.
UN Human Rights spokesperson Ravina Shamdasani. Closing arguments set to begin in the defamation case against Donald Trump. Last year, a jury found him sexually abused E. Jean Carroll, then defamed her for saying she was lying about it. This is ABC News.
Signing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 6:31. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts. The Milwaukee Fire Department will review the actions and procedures of the city's 911 call system after a woman was found dead near a bus stop earlier this month. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports multiple calls concerning 49-year-old Jolene Waldriff were received by the Milwaukee Police Department, which were then transferred over to the fire department. Waldriff had slipped and hit her head on the fence near 76th and Congress January 15th. That was during the bitter cold stretch the area saw earlier this month. The medical examiner's office is investigating Waldriff's death as probable hypothermia. New information this morning on a deadly house fire in Kenosha Sunday. The 71-year-old woman who died in the fire near 32nd and Ramsey has been identified as Patricia Gasser. Her husband, 75-year-old Tad Gasser, is still in the hospital for smoke inhalation. The cause of the fire remains under investigation, but a 911 call obtained by our partners at TMJ4 News suggests an oxygen tank may have been involved.
How did the fire start?
Oxygen.
Oxygen?
Yeah.
Like an oxygen tank?
Yeah.
Tad's son David told TMJ4 News his dad made multiple attempts to put out the fire and save his wife from a second-story bedroom. Kenosha Unified Schools is the latest district to address the issue of book bans in southeast Wisconsin. TMJ4 News' Miriam McCarr has more on how the district is adjusting its book review policy.
The old book review policy took about a month for each book. KUSD Superintendent Jeffrey Weiss says with nearly 40 challenges, that old policy would take 4 years to complete.
Policy that was written in 2000, I'm sure was not written with an eye to dealing with 38 book challenges and how to get through all of that work while still running a district.
The new protocol was passed 3-2 by the school board on Tuesday and requires those challenging books to have read them in their entirety while also beginning the challenge at the school level before going to the district. And today is the final day of Winter Road Salt Awareness Week in Waukesha.
Salt concentrations are building up in lakes, streams, and drinking water.
Wisconsin SaltWise Program Manager Allison Madison says higher rates of salinization in water not only harm aquatic ecosystems, but also weaken infrastructure and can be toxic to pets.
Yes, we're putting salt down for public safety, and how do we kind of hold that next to the need for long-term safety and health of our water resources?
Madison says one simple solution is to avoid oversalting. A 12-ounce coffee mug full of salt is enough to treat a 20-foot driveway or 10 sidewalk squares. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 6:34.
Coming up, you heard ABC News talk about the execution in Alabama. We'll get a little bit more into why that's so controversial and also what that guy did to deserve it. That's next. This is a story about how Walker Media Agency even makes rivets exciting. Vince Vitrano here. When you work with Matt Walker and his team, they get your company website working for you. Prairie Rivet in South Central Wisconsin, their website didn't even list all of the rivets they so proudly produce online. Walker Media Agency built a site for them that tells their story, highlights company leaders, and if you need rivets, a full description of what Prairie makes and how to order them. Have Walker Media Agency build your company a site that works as hard as you do. Find them at walkerwtmj.com.
Is it time to give your home a new look?
Absolutely.
Get personal care from Adair. Adair Floors and Remodeling has a design team ready to help with all flooring and remodeling needs, including tub to shower conversions. Want to create your dream kitchen, including cabinets? How about the rec room? Adair Floors and Remodeling has been family run in Franklin for over 65 years. For floors and all home remodeling needs, get personal care from Adair. Adair Floors and Remodeling, South 27th Street in Franklin, and online at adairfloors.com.
With Social Security, the longer you wait, the more money you may get. Deciding when to start taking your Social Security benefits is one of the most important retirement decisions you'll make. Our team of advisors at Drake & Associates can show you the options and help you decide on the best decision for you and your situation. You spent decades paying in, optimize what comes out. Our experienced team can help you squeeze every penny out of your Social Security benefits. I'd love to get you our Retirement Ready Toolkit, which includes guides such as the Social Security Decision. To receive this complimentary toolkit, call or text SS to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting SS to 414-409-9982.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, and SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:36.
Bucks hit the floor tonight. Once again, we got the Cavaliers at Fiserv Forum. Will the new coach be there? Be coaching?
Somewhere in the house?
Somewhere in the house. Brandon Snyder has sports at 6:45. So we have the state of Alabama executed a guy Thursday night in a way that's never been done before.
Smith was pronounced deceased by physicians at 8:25 p.m. Central Standard Time.
And Kenneth Eugene Smith, he lost an 11th hour appeal at the U.S. Supreme Court. He was executed by way of nitrogen hypoxia. There's not been an execution this way before in the U.S. The United Nations Human Rights Office in Geneva, Switzerland, was monitoring and protesting.
There are reports that it may have taken up to 25 minutes. It's unclear exactly. And he was writhing and clearly suffering.
So that's UN Human Rights spokesperson Ravina Shamsdani. They weren't protesting so much that the execution occurred, but rather the method. They don't like this new method.
He asked to do it this way, didn't he?
He did indeed. Smith chose this method of execution, an option that was presented to him after a botched attempt little over a year ago.
Yeah.
They tried a lethal injection and had trouble, I think, getting the proper vein or whatever they needed to do. And so that didn't work late in 2021. Then there were other delays and various other court proceedings, and they ultimately settled on this. He said, okay, I'll do this. ABC's Chuck Sievertson describes the method and has a witness who tells what she saw.
After a steak, eggs, and home fries last meal and a Supreme Court majority refused to stop it, Kenneth Smith said tonight Alabama causes humanity to take a step backwards. A mask put on his face delivered oxygen, gradually replaced with nitrogen. An Alabama journalist, Ivana Hrincrew, saw it.
For about 2 minutes following that, Kenneth Smith shook and writhed for about 2 minutes on a gurney.
After deep breaths, he passed out and died. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
So he was one of three men who were convicted in a murder for hire plot, convicted of brutally stabbing Elizabeth Sennett to death 35 years ago. And as I was researching for this story, you can find all kinds of coverage today about poor Ken Smith and what he went through. And without regard for the debate over execution or not, and we don't have that here in Wisconsin. A number of other states do.
Someone else is dead.
Yes, and it's important to note that. And there's
killed.
scant little coverage about that fact. Mike Sennett is her son. And in a statement after the execution, he said, Kenneth Smith made some bad decisions 35 years ago, and his debt was paid tonight. I guess I'll end by saying that Elizabeth Dorleen Sennett got her justice tonight. 6:39 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
This report is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
It's the last resort that comes with a grueling and painful recovery. And from what I've been told, it never really feels quite natural. A total knee replacement may make the pain you're living with eventually go away, but it opens up a Pandora's box of other possible issues. And that's why surgeons who really do care will tell you that it's a last resort. There are other surgeons who cry, "Replace! Replace!" But the physicians you'll find at Rejuvenix are primarily concerned with relief. And you may find out that the relief we give you helps so much so that you may not need to get that total knee replacement. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenix Arthritis Clinics. Our FDA-approved pain treatments aid inflammation and lubricate your joints. And in most cases, insurance has been shown to cover the costs. At Rejuvenix, we can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenix. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
One day, a 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission structure will be commonplace. But for now, it's not the case. So you can pay 6% for what we can do for about half that, or you can pay less for full service. For some, it's hard to believe, but for our customers, they know it to be true. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, and our agents understand the meaning of great customer service. And you'll see they're the cream of the crop. So don't pay more than you have to. Pay less for full service with Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com. The reviews are in, and folks seem to like how we do business. And what's more, they can't get over the level of service and real estate expertise they get for far less than what they'd pay an agent from a big-name company. At 3.5 to 3.9%, you'll save up to nearly 50% in commission by choosing a Benefit Realty full-service agent. Everything they do, we do, for up to 50% less. There's no catch. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. See our success stories at benefit-realty.com.
Great breaded, sautéed, or fried, Sendix is featuring large, raw, cleaned, and butterflied shrimp for just $4.99 per pound. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendix Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. Deb?
All right, we've got actually a pretty good ride shaping up across the area. No major delays around and no incidents either up on the board. But visibility might be an issue. As the sun comes up, you're going to probably see a little bit of fog, so just be extra careful. Make sure you have your headlights on. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, areas of patchy fog and scattered showers across southeastern Wisconsin. High temperatures topping out in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. Rain tapers off tonight, still looking at some patchy fog with lows in the mid-30s. Outside of some areas of rolling fog on our Saturday, it's mostly cloudy and mild with a high of 38. More clouds for Sunday and Monday, highs in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees, and we'll look for a chance of a morning wintry mix on Tuesday, mostly cloudy with a high of 40. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 40 degrees.
Gaylord Perry, he still says the worst day of his whole career, his life, is when I hit a home run against him.
How does that make you feel?
I love it. I don't ever remember facing him.
Bob Uecker, 90 years old today. Happy birthday to Uke. We'll be celebrating through the day here on WTMJ. Do you have... Wait, before we get to it, in this era of virtual meetings, we've all had that moment where you're trying to get into the meeting and something's not working, right?
Yes, or you think it's going swimmingly and it just sounds really bad on the other end.
We can't hear you. Your mic's, let me try this. Let me click that. And we had one. So it can be tough. Sometimes actually you're like, oh, great, I'm out. But maybe you had something important to add and whatever. So we've all kind of struggled with that tech. We had this guy calling in.
You're talking about the MCTS guy.
Yes, and I've given this more thought. This guy was calling in to a Common Council meeting.
So it was
yesterday.
It was a couple of days ago. It was the Public Works Committee meeting that Bob Bauman is the chair of, and they were talking about the BRT, and they had a couple of guys talking about it who were there presenting or discussing the numbers since the BRT, the one from the lakefront to the medical college. And when they were done, third guy who was also on the agenda piped up and said, hey, I'm here too. I have some insight to provide.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone.
Item 12, 231.
Pardon me?
Hello, who?
This is Jesus Ochoa with Water Transit System. I believe our line item was added to this line item for people to stop.
A little hard to understand what's being said there.
Well, so he ultimately didn't get to testify at the hearing, right? Because Bauman dismissed him.
We really couldn't hear you. We really couldn't hear you very well. It was all garbled and broken up. Sorry.
Is this better?
Yeah. Okay, still can't hear it. All right, we're moving on to the next item.
No, out. Forget it. Moving on.
My favorite part is that other people say, yeah, you sound a lot better now if you listen to it. Like, you sounded good.
No, we can hear you.
Nope.
We're good. Moving on. So I thought about, what if that was a big deal for that guy?
Told his mom about it.
Told his wife at breakfast. Are you going to wear that tie for your big meeting today? Good luck at the meeting. Call me after. Tell me how it goes.
Everyone's watching cable channel 25 or whatever.
You're going to be on TV. Right, I'll watch on the cable feed. He's real excited. All right, my chance to appear before the council.
Quiet. Hey, everyone be quiet in the house. Everyone in the
Dad's on with the Common Council. There he is. Oh.
We really couldn't hear you. We really couldn't hear you very well. It was all garbled and broken up. Sorry.
Is this better?
Yeah. Okay, still can't hear it. All right, we're moving on to the next item. Item 12, file 231.
So how did the meeting go? What did you say yesterday, Greg? Greg Hill produces the program.
So I just pictured the scenario of he's at the dinner table and they're ready to totally recap. Yeah. It's like they finally, how'd it go? Big
Tell
meeting.
us about
they
the big
finally
meeting.
listened to you. You had your moment, honey. How did it go?
They finally were going to listen. I've been trying to get to these guys for years. They're finally going to hear from me on this. Right. I've been trying to get these guys' attention for years. How did it go then?
It's David Nason, your personal inspection pro from WTMJ's The Fix-It Show. I'm with my go-to basement repair guy, Chris Mancuso of Accurate Basement Repair. This is the team I personally recommend for leaky or cracked basements.
Wow, thanks, David. Our team at Accurate Basement Repair has been fixing leaky and cracked basements for the Fix-It listeners for over 20 years.
That's great, Chris. For more information about how to schedule a free inspection and estimate, check out AccurateBasementRepair.com because they're not just good, they're accurate.
Why settle for just the job when you could have a career in the exciting automobile industry? The Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee new car dealer members have service, technician, sales, administrative, and management positions available now. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam new car dealer.
For current great-paying job opportunities, visit adam.jobs. That's ADAMM.jobs.
Our patient's most common regret statement? I just wish I would have done this sooner.
Find out more at adventknows.com because breathing well will help you live better.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Milwaukee Bucks return to the court tonight to take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Giannis and Damian Lillard have been selected as starters for the 2024 NBA All-Star Game. For Lillard, it is the first time he has been named as a starter in his career. And for Giannis, he was a top vote getter in the league, a first for the two-time MVP. Tip-off tonight set for 7 p.m. The UWM Panthers knocked off Detroit Mercy on Thursday by a final of 87-71. The win helping Milwaukee improve to 10-10 on their season. And lastly, the coaching carousel in the NFL rolled on Thursday as the Atlanta Falcons have hired Raheem Morris for their vacancy, passing on former New England Patriots coach Bill Belichick. And the Panthers hiring former Tampa Bay offensive coordinator Dave Canellis to a 6-year deal for their next head coach.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports opinion commentary on Wisconsin's morning news. Here's Brendan Snide.
After finishing the season with a 9-8 record and blowing expectations out of the water in 2023, Green Bay Packers head coach Matt LaFleur was not named to be one of the finalists for the 2023 NFL Coach of the Year. Shocking, I know, but somehow, some way, the voters for these awards must have something personal against LaFleur because at this point, to me, it's just simply disrespect. I have no idea why he is not included in the final five. Here are the final five coaches that were named. Baltimore's John Harbaugh, Detroit's Dan Campbell, San Francisco's Kyle Shanahan, Cleveland's Kevin Stefanski, and Houston's DeMeco Ryans. Three of them, the first three that I named, were projected to be good or great teams. Three. The other two, Ryans and Stefanski, I could see the argument. The other three, not a chance. No way. Honestly, what does LaFleur have to do in order to be recognized for the good job that he has done? When he won 13 games for 3 seasons consecutively, people said, that's nice, but it's more of a credit to the MVP quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. Now, when nobody gives him a chance this year, he takes the league's youngest roster, makes the playoffs, and goes toe-to-toe with the number 1 seed for a chance to play in the Super Bowl, and yet somehow they don't give him any credit for that. How does that make any sense in anybody's world? The quick answer here, it simply doesn't. LaFleur, without any question, has done a top 5 job this season in the NFL. Not debatable. And in my opinion, has done the best job out of those nominees I just gave you, given his circumstances. It's not close either. The disrespect is evident. It's real. And as a fan, it has gotten far out of control. Shame on the NFL and their voters.
Hey, John Mercure here. Join me every Saturday at noon for Experience Wisconsin. We'll check in with communities across the state for the best and brightest spots in Wisconsin. This week, pretty exciting show. We are joined by the good folks from Hayward Lakes.
Winter has thrown us a bit of a curveball this year. However, there's still a ton of options to get outside and enjoy all the recreation in the Hayward Lakes area.
And hey, how about heading south when you head for a vacation in Wisconsin? We'll check in to Lake Geneva. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturday at noon right here on 620 WTMJ.
So getting new windows and doors from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, it can be a big investment if you're doing a large project. I mean, how do you really enjoy a window? I have some suggestions. Maybe it's being all cozy in your house watching the snow fall through a bigger redesigned space. That's enjoyable. Maybe sitting by the window, you no longer have a chill of a draft coming through or the worry of lost savings as your heating bill goes up. Here's the fix. You replace those drafty old or ugly windows and doors with beautiful new products from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. They're custom designed if you need them to be. That was the case in my house. We had a patio door that didn't fit into anything and 2 really oversized windows on either side. It was all custom. Pella did an amazing job, both with the suggestions for design and, of course, the install. We are super happy with those products. And now they're making it more affordable. Right now, you pay 0% interest up to 36 months if you book the work in your home by the end of this month. You can choose traditional or contemporary and start enjoying a warmer home with lower energy bills. Hurry now to get the 0% interest for up to 36 months when you book the work by January 31st. To visit PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions do apply.
I'm Dr. Jasmine Zapata, Chief Medical Officer for Community Health at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. Every year in the U.S., about 21,000 lung cancer deaths are caused by radon, an odorless, tasteless, and colorless gas. 1 in 10 Wisconsin homes has high levels of radon. Does yours? Call 1-888-LOW-RADON or visit lowradon.org to learn more. Test, fix, save a life.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
At Kowal Investment Group, we've been helping our clients plan for retirement for over 36 years. We'd like to help you too. Visit thekowalway.com or call 262-522-4040.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Let's get an update on the roads here, Debbie.
Alrighty, looking pretty good right now. Nothing major slowing us down. Got full freeway speeds across the entire area. Everything is looking great. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. High of 40 degrees today, and we're already there. Chance of showers and more fog today. Rain should taper off tonight with continued fog and a low down to 35. For your weekend, high temperatures in the upper 30s both days and mostly cloudy. Right now at 40 in Milwaukee.
That time called here momentarily. Something just dropped behind the mound area, between the mound and second base. I don't know what that is, but it's being retrieved by Prince Fielder. It's something from the upper reaches of Miller Park. Nothing really major. It's maybe a 400 or 500 pound piece.
Happy birthday to Bob Euchre, turning 90 years old today. We bring in our friend from ESPN Wisconsin, Gabe Neitzel. You do some play-by-play, Gabe. I know it's a passion for you. How hard is it to do what Euchre does, where you're weaving a story in and out of game action?
Oh, it's so incredibly hard.
Right?
I've been...
It's easy. I just tell a story, and then I go back to forget it.
I've been fortunate enough, I've filled in on some Bucks games here over the last few years, and when I first got into radio and I was working full-time for Good Karma Brands at ESPN Madison, we had the Madison Mallards. And I did those games. That was a lot of fun. For those who don't know, that's summer collegiate baseball. And, I played college baseball, and baseball is the hardest sport to do. Like basketball, football, so much, because especially basketball, there's action up and down the floor where, especially pre-pitch clock,
you got a
who
minute
knows?
in between
Who
pitches.
knows what's going on between some of these pitches with these guys? And the way that Euchre over, the 50-plus years that he's been doing it behind the microphone, it's unbelievable how good he is. It's just a storyteller. And one of my favorite things with Euchre, though, was actually a picture. I don't know if you guys remember this. So back when the Brewers were just like the J.J. Hardy print, like all those guys were coming up the first time they made the playoffs with CC Sabathia. Like they were this young, fun team, and Sports Illustrated did a big piece on them, and they happened to interview some of the guys when they were on the road trip in Florida. And they get a picture of a shirtless Euchre playing ping pong at the hotel with J.J. Hardy. And Euchre, again, so this is, we're talking, 16, 17, 18 years ago. So, Euchre's, like a 70-year-old guy at this point. He looks, for a 70-year-old dude, looked great. Looked fantastic. And, I just remember they, looking at the Sports Illustrated going, how does a 70-year-old man look like this? This is unbelievable.
He's timeless.
He is.
Speaking of looking like something, can I bring up the guy on the freeway again?
Yeah, we never found this guy, did we?
So this was the guy, if you're listening earlier this week, I saw a guy in the Marquette interchange. He's on what we've largely described as a moped. It was faster than an e-bike, certainly wasn't a motorcycle.
Didn't look very big, though.
Yeah, almost a borderline scooter. And he's riding this thing on the freeway. I catch him on the Marquette interchange, and so we rolled video on it. We have it up at WTMJ.com. Actually, if you text the word bike to 855-616-1620, we'll send you the link. Or if you're watching on the live stream right now, I think Pancake is running it through. So you can see Moped Guy on the freeway. I bring it up with Gabe here, Eric, because one of the things that then populated my social media feed were these pictures of Gabe. He might as well have been the guy.
I wish I was that guy.
Can you confirm that was not you?
I can confirm that wasn't me, because the moped in question in the pictures that were shared of me is no longer functioning, unfortunately. But when we used to be up at Radio City, I live in River West. I lived a mile and a half away from Radio City. And my living situation currently is the best friends of me and my wife live upstairs. They own the house. Okay. So, he and my best friend up there had bought this moped for nothing. He just basically it was just something for him to tinker around with in his garage. But there was really never a chance to ride it all that often because there wasn't a key. It was a kickstart, so well, but I mean, everybody could steal it. So you drive it anywhere, leave it in a parking lot. It's not like you get a key in there and turn it.
Look, there he is.
Yeah,
Greg has it up on the screen.
So
you got to click on the live stream.
So, of course, if you have a moped like that has a plastic milk crate attached to the back, you need to have a helmet and racing goggles. Like, that's just that the helmet and goggles lived in the back of the crate. So clearly, I mean, if you were riding this thing, you had to put those on. That was kind of our rule. So about the only time it was ever used is I would drive it from time to time to Radio City, or we would take it to the Metro Market there in Shorewood.
Sure.
But then you would take it all the way to the top of the parking garage so nobody knew it was there, so nobody would steal it.
So you never rode it on the interstate?
Never rode it on the interstate.
Never freeway drive.
No, I mean, that thing could probably get up to close to 40, but yeah, I would feel...
Oh,
especially with the way that people drive on 94 and 43, I would feel not safe on that thing.
I wouldn't feel safe on that thing on the sidewalk. and at 40, you must have felt like you were about to break the sound barrier.
You get down like you're trying to be more aerodynamic. You're just...
Here we go.
I miss that thing.
You can text the word WATCH to 855-616-1620 to join us on the live stream, or bike if you want to see the picture of or the video of moped guy on freeway who is not Gabe Neitzel.
It's a shame.
Business headlines are up next. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Margaret Notchek.
The Athletic first reported that the Milwaukee Bucks are expected to sign former Philadelphia 76ers head coach and Marquette University alumni Doc Rivers to a 3.5-year contract in the range of $40 million. The city of Milwaukee gained the court approval to take ownership of Northridge Mall. Officials have plans to tear it down this year. The most expensive apartment unit in downtown Milwaukee is at 700 East Kilbourne Avenue. The nearly 4,000 square foot unit in the Ascent costs $15,000 a month. I'm Margaret Notchek with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Dr. Michael Nolte. Expertscape recently named him part of the top 1% of spine expertise in the world. Dr. Nolte has published over 50 peer-reviewed articles in leading scientific journals and authored more than 100 national presentations. They added this MVP specialist for orthopedic, neurosurgical, and spine care because at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Chris and Tim closed their first loan with Accunet $116,000 ago in terms of the median sales price in southeastern Wisconsin. We helped their daughter buy a home earlier this year, and now we're helping them buy their retirement condo. We're told there were 3 offers, 2 cash offers, and Chris and Tim's offer backed up by an Accunet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval. All 3 offers were probably over the asking price, but we're surmising Chris and Tim's offer was the highest because when the sellers asked the listing broker if they could count on the offer with the pre-approval letter, the answer was simply, Accunet really does their homework. It's not easy to beat a cash offer over the asking price, but that's exactly what Tim and Chris did with some help from their trusted family mortgage lender. If you don't think the lender's name on your pre-approval letter matters, think again. It's still a seller's market in the Badger State, so click on the blue button at Accunet.com today to get started with your rock-solid, guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
Happy birthday to Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker.
He just hit a walk-off out of here, and the Brewers have swept the New York Mets. Oh, my. How do you top this one?
We're only 29 days away from the first pitch of spring training on your home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
Just after 7 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, January 26th, our top story. Milwaukee's 911 operations coming under review after a death at a bus stop.
I'm Eric Bilstead, back to the sky for the Max 9.
I'm Brandon Snide. It's an all-star first for both Giannis and Dame.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Problem on 94 southbound, right about at Drexel. We've got the center lane blocked with a broken down vehicle. Squads are on the scene to help out with this, so it's definitely slowing things down a bit. Folks are trying to get past it, so just be extra careful if you're heading through there. Otherwise, the rest of the system is still moving along pretty well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast, chance of showers today, areas of fog continuing with the rain tapering off tonight and a low down to 35. We're already at today's high temperature of 40. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Milwaukee Fire Department will review actions and procedures of the 911 call system. This is about that woman who was found dead near a city bus stop earlier this month. Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports there were multiple calls concerning 49-year-old Jolene Waldriff that were received by the Milwaukee Police Department. Police department transferred the calls to the fire department. Waldriff slipped and fell and hit her head on a fence near 76th and Congress back in mid-January. That was right when it was super cold. Medical examiner's office is investigating her death as probable hypothermia.
Fresh off President Biden's visit to Superior, Wisconsin, another high-ranking White House official will be in southeast Wisconsin today talking the economy.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen will be in Milwaukee touting the president's support of unions while also touring the Wisconsin Regional Training Partnership on the city's west side. Yellen's visit comes a day after she said in an interview with ABC News the U.S. economy is not in danger of entering a recession, given new numbers suggesting the nation's GDP grew over 3% last quarter.
But no reason right now why there would be a recession this
There's
year.
There's no obvious reason why there would be.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
For the first time since 1982, the United States has tried a new method of putting a condemned inmate to death.
Almost 34 years after Elizabeth Sennett was stabbed and beaten to death by a hitman hired by her own husband, the hitman has been executed.
Smith was pronounced deceased at 8:25 p.m.
Alabama prison official John Hamm says Edward Eugene Smith died not by lethal injection, but by nitrogen hypoxia. Witnesses said the 58-year-old writhed and struggled against the restraints in a procedure that took 22 minutes. Elizabeth Sennett's son, Mike, is at peace.
We have forgiven him.
Jim Ryan, ABC News.
For the first time in weeks, passengers will be on board a Boeing 737 MAX 9.
CBS News has learned that in just a few hours, Alaska Airlines plans to send its first 737 MAX 9 planes back into the air, now 3 weeks after a door plug blew out minutes after takeoff. The terrifying ordeal over Portland, Oregon, prompted the FAA to temporarily ground that Boeing model nationwide for safety inspections. Alaska Airlines CEO Ben Menikuchi on CNBC about the future of the fleet.
We expect within about a week, our entire 65 airplanes or close to that should be up, back in full service.
Jared Hill, CBS News.
Coming up, boldly going where few tourists have gone before, citing Unlimited. WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
Debt clock. Our debt is over $32 trillion and climbing. The question is, how do we pay it off? One of the most likely answers is increasing taxes. Now think about your retirement accounts. Do you want to pay taxes on some of that money now when rates are historically low, or later when rates are potentially higher? At Drake & Associates, we can help you create a plan so your retirement is tax efficient as possible. If you'd like to continue your education, we have our Retirement Ready Toolkit, which includes guides on retirement tax savings. To receive this complimentary toolkit, call or text TAX to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting TAX to 414-409-9982. When taxes go up, will you be ready? Call or text now.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
Commercial insurance continues to get more complex. Here's Jeff Salasinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Thanks, Vince. Insurance companies continue to be challenged by catastrophic storms and inflation pressures. The insurance company response will be to differentiate between which of their accounts are profitable and which are not. As a result, you'll need a strategy to deal with the strict underwriting demands and pricing requirements that are now in place. You will need to fully understand how company underwriters view your account. If your agent is only providing a quote, your business and profitability are at risk, and you're with the wrong agent.
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
Sharing market insights and the related impact while laying out strategic options for your business is what R&R Insurance does best. Our clients have trusted R&R to guide them for over 48 years. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands. Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
The Packers earlier this week fired the defensive coordinator. Brandon Snide tells us who's on the short list, or if there even is one, in sports at 7:15.
After 26 years, new leadership at the Hunger Task Force.
I'll be turning 65 soon, so why not?
Longtime CEO Sherry Tussler announcing her retirement effective in June. Tussler tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News she considered retiring prior to the pandemic, but
I think it made us grow. And I feel good about what I did during that time.
Tussler says their work during that time was as essential as it gets.
We ended up serving the entire state of Wisconsin and leveraging resources from the federal government and getting them out to groups that are in need in rural, remote, indigenous areas and then urban areas like Milwaukee.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
This year's first space tourism flight could go up as soon as today.
Go to YouTube and you'll find a 2-minute wordless video showing Virgin Galactic's 2023 accomplishments. Now it appears the company's first flight of 2024 could send its Galactic 06 space plane up and down today. Virgin's 11th space tourism flight. Last week, the company released pictures of a mission patch depicting Ukraine, Austria, and the U.S., all represented on the next flight. 4 of the 8 astronauts would be paying passengers, the remaining 4 Virgin Galactic pilots and commanders, including former space shuttle astronaut Rick Sturckow, who will command this flight out of New Mexico. Peter King, CBS News.
I mean, how long are they up there? That's the thing. Like,
it's not that long.
It's not that... I shouldn't say it's not that difficult to reach suborbital level, but it is. But right, it's not like you're up there for days floating around and you're not going to visit the space station.
Right. Just an up and you look around for 90 seconds, 2 minutes tops.
I like the idea of the mission patch, though. You're all in. You get to play astronaut for
absolutely.
7:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Valentine's Day is here. This year, give the ultimate gift. Name a star after your sweetheart. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For 45 years, we've named millions of stars for celebrities, dignitaries, and individuals worldwide. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can give the most memorable gift. The star your name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333. Valentine's Day is here. This year, give the ultimate gift. Name a star after your sweetheart. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For 45 years, we've named millions of stars for celebrities, dignitaries, and individuals worldwide. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can give the most memorable gift. The star your name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Rejuvenix. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
7:10 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Checking in with Debbie here.
All right, we've got this broken down vehicle 94 southbound right about at Drexel, so watch out for the delays right through that area. It's in the center lane. Squads are on the scene with this. We've also got an accident just past Barker Road. Looks like the left lane is blocked, so that's why we've got some backups all the way back to Springdale Road. For the most part, everything else is looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, chance of scattered showers and areas of fog, highs in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. The rain tapers off tonight. We'll still deal with some patchy fog, lows dipping back into the mid-30s. Mostly cloudy and mild on our Saturday, still looking for areas of fog, highs in the upper 30s, mostly cloudy for Sunday with a high of 37, and we'll hold on to the cloud cover mild temperatures on Monday, a high near 40 degrees. Morning rain, perhaps even a wintry mix 76 on Tuesday, otherwise mostly cloudy with highs in the low 40s. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
40 degrees our temp in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Pitching-wise, you can't keep asking guys to go out there and throw shutouts and, 1 or 2 run games all the time. Hello? Yes, you're on. Good to have you aboard. Swing and a miss. There's our lucky caller for today. Stay on the line. Kent will be right with you, and keep checking your mailbox. A nice prize in there for you. You called at the right time.
It just keeps going. Bob Uecker, 90 years old today. Happy birthday to Uecker. We'll celebrate him through the morning on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Did some angels this morning out in the snow to celebrate?
Man, absolute treasure. So we had a bunch of stories in the news this week about what they're calling these harm reduction vending machines. They're being introduced in Milwaukee County. And if you don't have someone that's connected to drug abuse, drug addiction, if that doesn't speak to your personal life, it's hard to even understand what any of this is about. They take these things, they look like a regular vending machine, like the kind that has like chips and Snicker bars. You go at the office and you hit the things. Only these contain things like gun locks, fentanyl test strips, Narcan, which can reverse the effects of a drug overdose. It doesn't help reduce drug use. In fact, some argue it enables it, which is why it's a bit of a sensitive issue. It's like, should we be doing this?
Kind of like offering free, clean needles.
Exactly, right. You're preventing the transfer of disease, but are you only encouraging people to continue using drugs? So you hear about people, young people in particular, addicted to drugs, and folks often wonder, didn't you have anyone in your life? Or if it's a young person, where were your parents? Didn't they notice? What's wrong with the parents? And I think it's a fair question. WTMJ's Libby Collins talked about that with a man who lost his son to opioids.
A lot of people would say, wait a minute, you lived with him, he was under your roof. There was no difference in his behavior.
When you don't know what to look for, and then after his death, you what if yourself to death, then you start to realize, after you learn more about opioid addiction, he was thin. Hey, he didn't eat all the time, motivational things. But hey, he went to college, he graduated.
Did his grades suffer at all?
No. The thing is when you learn a lot about opioid addiction, which I have, you can be a functional opioid addict for a long time. And there's people out there with addiction for 5 years, 10 years. It's not like being an alcoholic.
That's George Moore. He's talking with WTMJ's Libby Collins about how his son lost his life to opioids and the risk of young people buying these pills, in particular, off the street. That conversation is Sunday morning, 11 a.m. on WTMJ Conversations. 7:14, Brandon's got sports next. Sports is brought to you by Holiday Automotive at Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
Hey, Wisconsin, Greg Matzik here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, where the New Year's sale is on. Hey, is there a new Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC in your future? Connect with Holiday for enticing offers, more selection, get more for your trade, and take to the roads this winter and beyond with confidence. Hey, another great option? Check out a GM-certified pre-owned model. Enjoy peace-of-mind benefits like 2 factory-backed warranties, scheduled maintenance, courtesy transportation, and roadside assistance, all included. Driving a GM-certified vehicle from Holiday is a no-brainer. And I know you'll appreciate the relaxed and welcoming attitude, transparent, simplified buying approach, and Team Holiday's genuine guest care. It is the stuff that delights and makes fans of drivers from all over. Fans like me and thousands of others. You'll be in good hands with Wisconsin's #1 GMC dealer and Buick Dealer of the Year on your side. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick and GMC, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
You missed the chance to do it in fall, but let's not shame you. Let's get it fixed. First thing in the spring, WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Johnson & Sons Paving. Would have been great if you got the team out to your commercial parking lot or drive to seal up those cracks and make minor repairs before now we're into this freeze-thaw cycle, and those small cracks can turn into big gaps or big old potholes when things melt off. Well, now's the time to get on the schedule with your commercial paving project for 2024. You book the work now. It puts the Johnson & Sons design team to work right away, puts you first in line in the spring so the damage doesn't get even worse. Maybe all you need is a fresh topper. Maybe you need to rebuild the whole thing. Consider Johnson & Sons for new construction as well. They do it all, and they're local. Plenty of Johnsons over there. No subcontractors. It's johnsonandsonspaving.com.
Returning to Milwaukee, the world's greatest Pink Floyd experience, Brit Floyd, celebrating 30 years of the Division Bell. Friday and Saturday, April 5th and 6th at the Riverside Theater. Brit Floyd, The Pulse Tour. Tickets on sale now at papstheatergroup.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The 31-13 Milwaukee Bucks back in action tonight against the same team they beat on Wednesday night, the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's been an up-and-down season for the Bucks, to say the least. Bucks guard Damian Lillard asked after Wednesday night's win if he thinks this team, given those ups and downs, has even touched their potential yet.
I don't. I think that's one of the positives of where we are, considering that it's been kind of rocky and up and down to get here, being almost 20 games over 500, and still knowing that we haven't been the best version of ourselves. I think we should be encouraged by it, but we should also understand that it's a process to get there, and we got to keep fighting that fight and doing the things necessary to make sure that we continue to improve.
The Bucks, according to ESPN NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski, after firing Adrian Griffin this week after 43 games, have reportedly signed head coach Doc Rivers through the 2026-2027 season. That contract expected to be a total of $40 million.
They started talking yesterday afternoon through late last night and then nailed down a deal this morning. Yep. Doc, this is a multi-year deal. This is an organization that really didn't have a plan B if they didn't get Doc Rivers and didn't convince him to join them.
Bucks Cavs again tonight from Pfizer Forum here in downtown Milwaukee. Tip-off set for 7 p.m. Bucks shoot-around will get you ready, of course, right here on WTMJ beginning at 6. Over to college hoops, where the UWM Panthers snapped their 2-game losing streak as they knock off Detroit Mercy in Milwaukee. This one by a final of 87-71.
Here's a steal by Pullian. KP back, and he will go up, and he'll put it down.
Scott Warris on the call over there on 1017 The Truth.
Yeah,
Scott's
a good guy.
There you go. With the win, get back to 500, currently sitting at 10-10 on their season. And quickly here, Vince, the 13th ranked Badgers returning to Madison tonight. They'll take on the Michigan State Spartans. That tip-off set for 7 p.m. At least basketball, no football going on, but we got some good basketball going on in the state.
How's Izzo's crew this year? They good?
I'm sorry, who?
State? Michigan State?
Okay.
Yeah.
Not as good as they used to be. Badgers better.
I hope they are. 7:19 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Happy birthday to the man whose voice we all know oh so well.
Swing and a drive to right and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Go!
Bob Uecker, 90 years young and still sounding great. Looking forward to another season full of this.
He just hit a walk-off grand slam home run.
We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Ken, open me another beer. Oh, are we on?
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
There's nothing like sitting in a brand new car. Am I right? Hi all, Debbie Lazaga here for Hall Mazda, and they're the folks that can put you into a brand new car. Mazdas have been designed with the driver in mind. Well, what do I mean when I say that? Well, as you sit in the driver's seat, you'll notice everything you need is within short reach. Like literally everything at your fingertips. The infotainment system, the climate control, all the things. Some of their models even have a heads-up display on the windshield, so you don't even have to take your eyes off the road. Check out all the models that Mazda has to offer on Blue Mound Road in Brookfield at Hall Mazda. Hall Mazda, it's Hall good.
Great breaded, sautéed, or fried, Sendix is featuring large, raw, cleaned, and butterflied shrimp for just $4.99 per pound. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendix Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. What's happening, Deb?
Well, we have an accident on eastbound 94, just got cleared. It was on just basically 94 eastbound at Barker Road, was blocking the left lane. They were able to get it up onto a tow truck and get it out of there. Delays are still there, though, unfortunately, all the way back to Springdale. So give yourself that extra time. Southbound on 94, we do still have this broken down vehicle in the center lane at Drexel. So that area is going to be a bit backed up. The rest of the system looking okay. Starting to tighten up a little bit on 43 right past the Capitol Drive interchange there. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Gloomy weather sticking around through the weekend. I guess it gets a little better for Saturday and Sunday. Chance of showers and areas of fog today. Already at our high temperature of 40 degrees. Rain tapering off tonight. Fog continuing, low down to 35. Both Saturday and Sunday temperatures in the upper 30s under mostly cloudy conditions. Right now at 722, 40 degrees.
A lot of problems down there with jellyfish. Stings. The story said like 1,600 people who were stung by jellyfish, some in their rooms. That makes it really tough.
Do you have like 307 more? I listen to all of them in a row.
Yes. In fact, I think we're gonna do something unprecedented in the 8 o'clock hour to end the show in the 8 o'clock hour. Unprecedented move. We're just going to let an inning go. One of the best innings in Brewers baseball
Like a good
history.
Uke story
Actually,
that he runs through?
I should clarify. Best innings of Uker, not of actual Brewers baseball, if that makes sense.
Well, and we as Brewers fans have had some tough years. So
Yes, yeah.
when the only reason you're listening to Uke is for the stories.
We will highlight one of those.
Bob
in the
Uecker
8
turns
o'clock.
90 years old today, which is why we're talking about Uke. Happy birthday to him. Chicago's biggest attraction is what? Now, great. Let me clarify here first. Great city, but for the sports fans. Okay? Except for the people, it'd be a great place to visit. No,
Except
I
for
mean
the fibs and the fish tabs.
Right. Great town. Love going down to visit Chicago. Big time city, full of attractions that people enjoy.
Navy Pier, yada yada.
Okay,
The
Navy Pier.
Aquarium
What
is
else?
pretty awesome. Willis
Museum of
Tower,
Science and Industry.
Science and Industry. That's a great museum.
Formerly the tallest building in America, Willis Tower.
Hancock is still worth seeing. The jelly bean thing,
right?
Yep.
Jelly bean.
Tons of stuff.
Okay. Well, it's not any of those things lately. It's this.
Chicago's latest attraction is the Rat Hole. It all started when an unfortunate rat got stuck in the sidewalk during its construction in Chicago's Roscoe Village neighborhood years ago.
Nice job, Chicago.
The Rat Hole.
The Rat Hole. That is from a YouTube channel called Now This. And credit to 16-year-old Max Vitrano for bringing this to my attention. So,
Good for him.
Dad, you guys talk about the rat hole? Like, no, we did not. Yeah, no, it's a rat hole.
Now, dozens are paying their respects to the rat, dubbed Chimley, with coins, alcohol, flowers, and, of course, cheese.
Hail, Rat Hole.
Come on.
So what it is, if you haven't seen it, and just Google rat hole and it comes up.
Oh, yeah, it's everywhere.
Tell you how popular it is. Pick your social media. It's on there. It looks like in the sidewalk, crews come in and lay concrete from time to time, and some animal got caught in there when it was drying. They call it the rat hole. Many people debate whether or not it might actually have been a squirrel.
Yeah, it could have been a squirrel.
If that's a rat, it's some big old rat. Not that they don't get that big in Chicago, because they do have a rat problem down there. Nonetheless, so it's this imprint of a rat, for lack of anything better or confirmed, in the cement. And apparently it's been there for a long time. But some guy who's well known in Chicago, they say he's a local artist, posted about it on social media.
Oh, here we go.
And then it exploded. And now people are coming to visit the rat hole. And not just visit, they're leaving stuff. All the news stations are covering it now. This is CBS 2 News in the Windy City.
It's kind of crazy how much this has blown up.
For weeks, the impression of a rat
I heard it was a squirrel.
or some other rodent splayed on a Roscoe Village sidewalk
I do think it's a squirrel, for sure.
has left a lasting impression.
We're on a date. I've been wanting to see the rat hole for a while.
People on a date. She's like, yeah.
Where did you have your first kiss?
At the rat hole. So it's making the news, though, because neighbors are getting upset. It's gotten so out of hand. So many people are coming, and they're leaving stuff.
Things, right.
Various tributes to the rat. There's change all over.
Cheese.
There's in one of the social media posts I saw, guys dumping like one of those little mini bottles of whiskey in there, in the rat hole. Tribute to the rat. They've come to bring their tributes. And now neighbors have even posted signs telling people like, hey, people live here. It's like townhouses right up on the rat hole.
They say they deal with garbage, vandalism, partying, TV cameras, and more. They claim their mail carrier now skips their house to avoid crowds. We need you all to chill out. Please, they write.
Please stop coming. Or at the very least, shut up.
It'll disappear in the next month or two, right? Like this is just the latest craze fad on the socials before something else resurfaces. Or
they
pops
also
up.
say there's been evidence of someone having tried to fill in the rat hole. I mean, I could get that taken care of for you in a second.
Yeah,
call up
stop at
old Jeff
Walgreens,
Johnson over there, Johnson and Sons Paving.
Great idea.
Boy, Jeff, it'd be a
idea.
shame if you accidentally truck were coming by and dump some hot asphalt on this thing. Nobody has to know.
No, I don't want him to do that. Then he'll be public enemy number one. I don't want Jeff getting yelled
Yeah,
at.
right. Then they'd be out in front of his place throwing cheese at him.
Who knew it took a rat hole to get Chicago to come together?
I am honored to be here.
News about your money this morning, WTMJ, Annex Wealth Management. Nice job, Chicago. Annex Wealth Management market update. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed up nearly 250 points to 38,049. The NASDAQ up almost 30 to 15,511. S&P 500 closed at 4894 on Thursday. That was up about 26 points. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com. Click on the Get Started button now. Vince Vitrano here talking with Dr. Alex Young at Connect Chiropractic. I've been seeing Dr. Alex and his team for months. For me, it was neck stiffness and lower back pain, which, Doc, you're doing a great job on. But what I'm really excited about today is you've brought more of my fellow patients here. And we've talked about how you're a family practice. And in this case, we start with mom who was pregnant and came to seek your help, and then also her children.
Yeah, we've got Jessie here, who initially started care while she was pregnant. Her daughter Daisy, who's 13, and Willow, who's just a few months old.
Oh, awesome. So, Jessie, let me talk to you about first coming to see Dr. Alex with headaches during pregnancy. What did he do to help you?
Yep. Well, I was getting headaches just about every day, and I know when I talked to him at the West Dallas Farmers Market, they said, "Oh, we'll get rid of those headaches." And I went in and started treatments, and they almost instantly started
fantastic.
helping.
And you also decided to bring both of your daughters as well. We've got Daisy here. And Daisy, what issues were you going to see Dr. Alex for?
I had celiac disease and lower back pain.
And that's your sister Willow crying in the background there. She wants to talk too.
Yeah.
Tell me more about what you were going through.
So my lower back pain was mostly when I was standing. And then with celiac disease, I had it when I was born. And he fixed it.
You feel better?
Yeah, I feel better.
Oh, fantastic. Doc, we've talked about how you do it differently at Connect Chiropractic. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. I know for a lot of parents that would be a barrier for them seeking out chiropractic care if they knew someone was going to grab the neck and twist around, but you do it different.
Absolutely. We use an instrument for really gentle adjustments. When we're talking about babies, who are just a few months old, we actually use an even gentler method. I compare it to checking the ripeness of a tomato. Really, really gentle, really light adjustments. Sometimes the babies even stay sleeping while they're getting adjusted.
Well, it's so great to see the work that you're doing with this family. You can book a consultation for your family right now. You can do everything online. It's goconnectchiro.com. That's goconnectchiro.com.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life. Brands from Carhartt to Milwaukee to Purina to Goodyear to Rapala to Levi's and a whole lot more. In-store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
It's 7:30. I'm Adam Roberts, and this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Your top story: did Milwaukee's 911 system fail a woman in a death at a bus stop?
I'm Debbie Laziga. Southbound on 43, we are seeing some issues slowing down right through the Capitol Drive area, and eastbound 94 in the Stadium interchange got the left lane blocked because of a crash. That's going to be tying things up there. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Rain, snow mix possible today in your storm team forecast from meteorologist Brendan Johnson. On our way to a high of about 40 today. Rain will taper off tonight. Still some fog overnight with a low down to 35 and continuing foggy and cloudy into your Saturday with a high again near 40 degrees. Right now, bit of a rain-snow mix and 36 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Milwaukee Fire Department is reviewing the actions and procedures of the 911 call system after a woman was found dead near a city bus stop earlier this month. Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports multiple calls concerning 49-year-old Jolene Waldorf were received by the Milwaukee Police Department, who then transferred the calls to the fire department. Waldorf had slipped and hit her head on a fence near 76th and Congress during the bitter cold stretch we experienced earlier this month. The medical examiner's office is investigating Waldorf's death as probable hypothermia. Kenosha Unified Schools is the latest district to address the issue of book bans. TMJ4 News' Miriam McCarr has more on how the district is adjusting its policy.
The old book review policy took about a month for each book. KUSD Superintendent Jeffrey Weiss says with nearly 40 challenges, that old policy would take 4 years to complete.
Policy that was written in 2000, I'm sure was not written with an eye to dealing with 38 book challenges and how to get through all of that work while still running a district.
The new protocol passed 3-2 by the school board Tuesday requires those challenging books to have read them in their entirety, while also beginning the challenge at the school level before going to the district. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is considering adding lake sturgeon to the Endangered Species Act. But Congressman Mike Gallagher argues that Wisconsin should be exempt because the state already has its own successful conservation practices. He tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News,
"We have a productive partnership with the DNR and local fishermen. We have the world's most meticulous management plan that combines public and private efforts, biologists. We're the envy of the world. People literally travel from all over the world, from as far as Russia, to come study our management process here."
Gallagher has introduced a bill called the SPEAR Act to create that exemption for Wisconsin. Overseas, the International Court of Justice demanding Israel take steps to prevent acts considered genocide against Palestinians, but this morning stopping short of ordering an immediate halt of military operations in Gaza. Judge Joan E. Donahue reading the decision in open court, calling on Israel to do more for Palestinians.
The state of Israel shall take immediate and effective measures to ensure the provision of urgently needed basic services and humanitarian assistance to address the adverse conditions of life faced by Palestinians in the Gaza Strip.
The court based in The Hague will continue its review of the case accusing Israel of genocide. And after 26 years, it's the end of an era at the Hunger Task Force.
I'll be turning 65 soon, so why not?
Longtime CEO Sherry Tussler announcing her retirement effective in June. Tussler tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News she considered retiring prior to the pandemic, but
I think it made us grow, and I feel good about what I did during that time.
Tussler says their work during that time was as essential as it gets.
We ended up serving the entire state of Wisconsin and leveraging resources from the federal government and getting them out to groups that are in need in rural, remote, indigenous areas, and then urban areas like Milwaukee.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 7:34.
News is sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy on Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram.
Get ready to kick off the new year with a smoother ride.
3, 2, 1.
Griffin presents the ultimate New Year special, where we pamper your car from bumper to bumper. For just $179 a month, we'll change your oil, inspect and rotate your tires, replace the air filter and wiper blades. But that's not all. Our expert technicians will give your car a complete multi-point inspection, check the battery, and make sure your heat is ready for the winter chill. Start the new year right with one of Griffin's 5 service departments, where quality meets affordability. Visit us today. Let's make your ride the envy of the road. See Griffin for details and restrictions. Griffin, driving into the new year with confidence.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
There are many reasons to choose document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Chris McLean, co-owner of DBAT Brookfield, the baseball and softball training facility, had his reasons.
I think the biggest thing, the important things for me are effective communication and timely response.
James Imaging Systems, Kyocera, Kyocera copiers, Kyocera network printers, Kyocera color systems, and the James team that works with you to provide the business technology to help you thrive.
Honestly, Candy had a lot to do with it.
Candy, your James Imaging Systems sales representative.
Candy built great rapport with our general manager right out of the gate. It helps that they're a local business. We're a local business as well.
James Imaging Systems, effective communication and local responsiveness.
They're a partner. James Imaging is a partner, not a vendor.
Kyocera. Kyocera from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
Bucks hit the floor again tonight. Cavaliers again tonight. Will we have a head coach calling the shots? I mean, we have interim head coach.
The head coach.
Yes. And is it going to be Doc for sure? It sounds like it. Brandon's got all that in sports at 7:45.
All right, recognize this song?
Band of Brothers.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
One of the best miniseries ever on HBO, Band of Brothers, of course.
World War II guy. World War II stuff.
So that was Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg. They kind of came together after they did Saving Private Ryan. Hanks has a real affinity for World War II story. He also did The Pacific. They were both in on that. Well, there's another one coming out. Believe it or not, another series about World War II is popping up on Apple TV Plus this weekend. It's called Masters of the Air. And it's a miniseries that is exploits the 100th Airmen, following them from deployment to imprisonment in the German prisoners of war camp. So the 100th Bomb Group. One of the actors, Callum Turner, talks about it. This is like an area, this group, the Bloody 100th they called them, had like an enormously high fatality rate.
% of these guys who went up didn't come back. They either got shot down, killed, or ended up in a POW camp. So you had a 23% chance of survival. And, to keep going up and fighting in the face of adversity and stand up for evil, and then achieving what they did and winning the war.
So this one will deal with a lot of pilots and airmen. Again, it's called Masters of the Air this weekend on Apple TV Plus.
Is it just because the stories, each and every one of them, are so fascinating?
Yes.
And so, and it's a years-long war, so how many stories are there to tell?
And just realizing how many different units
Yeah.
and how many different people had different roles to play. I mean, the Pacific is so different than Band of Brothers. Those two series are vastly different just because two different sides of the planet.
Right, as were the theaters of war.
Yeah,
very
yeah,
different style of fighting, very different circumstances, and probably a little something, too, for our generations of they don't make people like that anymore. There's a reason Brokaw called them the greatest generation. 7:39, this news report brought to you by Steinhoffels. Visit them at steinhoffels.com.
A good day starts with a great night's sleep on a new Tempur-Pedic mattress from Steinhoffels. Take your sleep to the next level with the Tempur-Pedic Ergo Smart Base powered by Sleep Tracker AI that automatically responds to snoring by raising your head, giving you a better, more restful night's sleep. Ergo Smart Bases start at $42 per month with Steinhoffels 60-month financing, and you'll get $300 in Steinhoffels cash. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com. Steinhoffels is your mattress destination.
Let me tell you a local business success story. Vince Vitrano here for Walker Media Agency. And this is a story about how Matt Walker and his team helped this local manufacturing company build a website that now works as hard as they all do. Walker Media Agency works with businesses, big and small, so many of them here in Southeast Wisconsin, on comprehensive marketing and strategy solutions. They'll usually start with a website overhaul. So this rivet maker in South Central Wisconsin, it's called Prairie Rivet. And when they first started working with Walker Media Agency, their website didn't even have a full list of the products that they produce, like literally the rivets. So now the website is slick. It's got their company story on it. I actually learned a lot about rivets while bumping around on the site. It highlights company leaders, their commitment to quality. And if you need rivets, full description of what Prairie makes and how to order them. Your company website is the digital front door to your business. Get Walker Media Agency to build a site that works as hard as you do and delivers results. You find them at walkerwtmj.com. That's walkerwtmj.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Flimsy, feeble, flaccid. That's how you can describe most pre-approval letters these days. Heck, a lot of big banks issue pre-approval letters using soft credit pulls instead of real credit reports. Do you really want to compete in today's still low inventory market with a soft credit pull and a pre-approval that's silent on 2 of the 3 critical elements of a mortgage approval? A rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet not only verifies your credit with a real credit report, we also verify your income and down payment, and then issue a letter with a $2,000 guarantee to back it up. And now, AccuNet is issuing property-specific pre-approvals that often come with this sweet phrase: no appraisal required. That's right, AccuNet may be able to issue your pre-approval at or above the seller's asking price without needing an appraisal. Today's home market is still a metaphorical knife fight. Your bank is offering you, well, a pocket knife. AccuNet is Crocodile Dundee. Now that's a knife, mate. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Hey there, Eric Bilstad for Tri-County Contracting. Yes, I know it's the winter time, but the time is now to be thinking about next spring and your roof. Don't forget, Tri-County Contracting has the worry-free roof tune-up. You can schedule it now. Get it on the books. Make sure your roof is good to go next spring. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com is the website, or call 262-679-6100. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. That's Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Checking in with Debbie Lozica here at 742. What's up on the roads?
All right, we still have this issue on 94 eastbound right at Highway 175 in the Stadium interchange. We have an accident there. It was blocking the left lane. I'm not sure if it's still in the left lane, but it's still there. Still seeing delays heading through that area. Southbound on 43. Hitting the brakes from Bender Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. And then eastbound 94 still working itself out in Waukesha County. We had an earlier accident around Barker Road. That's been cleared, but we do still have delays basically from Barker all the way to Calhoun. I'm Debbie Lozica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: a chance for scattered showers, areas of fog with highs topping out in the mid and upper 30s. Rain tapers off tonight with more areas of patchy fog as lows dip back into the mid 30s. Outside of some patchy fog on Saturday, it's mostly cloudy and mild with highs in the upper 30s. We'll hold on to the cloud cover and mild conditions Sunday and Monday with highs in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. We'll look for a chance of morning rain showers, perhaps even a wintry mix, mostly cloudy with a high of 40. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now, Milwaukee at 39 degrees.
Folks, I'm not kidding. The door is locked. It won't open. The handle now came off the door. Jeff Levering is up there trying to remedy the situation. Has one of those handy pocket knives, pliers and everything on it. Well, while we have the ladder here, we might as well invite everybody up and make it a U.S. Cellular visit to the booth.
Bob Uecker, I don't know if he is, but we're celebrating Uke's 90th birthday here on WTMJ. On the WTMJ Talk and Text line, which is 855-616-1620. I was listening to a ball game on the way home from work one day. Recall the doorknob broke off the other side of the press box. They had to exit via the window on the ballpark side using a ladder. Yep. It made ESPN Top 10 Sports the next day. And that was
there
the cut.
It is.
Yes. You asked, we delivered. I don't know if it always works like that, but we were able to find that one for you.
Bullseye!
744. We got Sports with Brandon. That's next.
This report is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
The pain was so bad I could barely walk, and now after stem cell treatment, I run marathons.
Now this is an exaggeration, but I do hear about unbelievable miracle outcomes, and I have to ask, do you really believe them? If they were true, these biological treatments wouldn't even have to be advertised. Truth is, stem cell effectiveness is nowhere near 100%. It's expensive, and it doesn't last. At Rejuvenix, our FDA-approved pharmacological treatments ease inflammation and reduce pain. They're precisely administered to where your pain lives, and they work. Will the pain reduction last forever? No. But in some cases, relief has lasted as long as 24 months, and in most cases, insurance has paid for the treatments entirely. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenix Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenix, a
rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Green Bay Packers offseason is officially underway, and so is their search for the next defensive coordinator. ESPN's Rob Demoski on the latest in Titletown and what he thinks the team could be looking for next.
You know, here's the thing that you have to ask. Does he want to stick with the similar scheme and just get new leadership, or does he want to, sort of blow it up and try something completely different from an X's and O's standpoint? But I would assume that if you're Matt LaFleur, regardless of what type of scheme you want, you've got to be more aggressive. You need to get the ball back to the offense as much as possible. He's got to figure out what best fits that sort of description for this defense.
Demoski joining 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee this week. No names officially being linked to the Packers as of yet. From the NFL to the NBA, where the Milwaukee Bucks will reportedly bring on Doc Rivers as the team's next head coach. This after firing Adrian Griffin after 43 games. ESPN's Evan Cohen on Unsportsmanlike giving credit to the Bucks for making a move midseason.
It is really hard to make quick decisions. It's really hard to make swift decisions that publicly admit that you're wrong about something that cost you a lot of money. While I feel badly for Adrian Griffin and his family, I give the Milwaukee Bucks a lot of credit for actually doing something that, you know what, we got it wrong. Let's admit we got it wrong. Let's not continue with this. I swear to you, I thought of the Philadelphia Eagles as soon as this happened yesterday. I'm like, they're going to realize what they're doing next year, that they got this wrong and they should have acted swifter, if that's a word. I actually give the Bucks credit. I do. Like, they made the wrong move, and they admit it, and they own it.
The deal for Doc in Milwaukee is reportedly set through the 2026-2027 season. That will pay out $40 million in total. The Bucks currently with a 31-13 record will have 2 starters in the NBA All-Star game coming up in February. Giannis and Damian Lillard have been selected to start. For Lillard, it is the first time he has been named as a starter in his career. And for Giannis, he was the top vote getter in all of the league, a first for the 2-time MVP, and also breaking LeBron's run of 7 straight years as the top vote getter. Milwaukee is set for another matchup tonight against Cleveland. Buck Shoot-Around with Greg Matzik will begin right here on WTMJ starting at 6 with a tip-off set for 7 p.m. And lastly, over to college hoops, the UWM Panthers getting back into the win column on Thursday night, knocking off Detroit Mercy in Milwaukee by a final of 87-71.
Backdoor baseline, Fields on a double team, goes up and hammers it down.
Scott Warris on the call on 101.7 The Truth as the Panthers snapping their 2-game losing streak will next host Oakland tomorrow at the Clutchy Center.
Yeah, Scott's a good guy.
Can confirm.
7:48, Mark Tauscher joins us next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
This is WTMJ's Sandy Max with a brand new show called What's on Tap. Weeknights at 6, you're invited to join me to take a deeper dive into culture and creativity here in Wisconsin and around the world. Tap into all kinds of entertainment and recreation with me, from music, theater, film, food, and uniquely Wisconsin traditions and landmarks. So pique your curiosity and join me for What's on Tap. And be sure to catch the podcast on your favorite podcast platform.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And even when the weather outside is frightful, your energy bill could be so much more delightful. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin's energy-efficient windows helps keep the cold outside where it belongs. And you can help kick the January blues when you choose to book by the 31st with 0% interest for up to 36 months. Yep, you heard that right. No interest for up to 36 months if you book by January 31st. Visit PellaWI.com to learn more. Certain restrictions do apply.
This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. The Energy Star ratings for windows are getting a lot tougher to get the tax credit, so you're going to want to take advantage of. Fortunately, we still have options that will qualify you for those tax credits. Now, I can sit here and talk benefits of this product or what's great about that product. So can everybody else. But what a lot of operations can't do is with complete confidence stand behind the crew that's going to be on that next job. Talk is cheap, I get it, but our people are exceptional. How do I know? Because me and Vito handpick every single person that makes our team. Some make the cut, a lot don't. And that's why you can be confident that the windows we install for you will be top quality, installed right, and that you're going to get great service. And that's never failed us. So for your home's new windows, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Great breaded, sautéed, or fried, Sendix is featuring large, raw, cleaned, and butterflied shrimp for just $4.99 per pound. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good karma brand station.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendix Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. Deb, we had soup at the house last night.
Ooh,
so
tasty. What type?
Just whipped on by Sendix. I'm like, I texted my daughter, do we have bread, like good bread? She goes, no, you need to get some.
Ooh.
The Sendix Vienna. Tasty.
You should get Debbie some soup.
And now I'm hungry. Yes,
you
I
good?
could use some soup. I'm okay. I'm living. Well, let's see what we got here. Huh?
Good.
Oh, good. Eastbound 94, not so great. We have an accident at the Stadium interchange. It's basically backing things up from 84th Street to that point. I think it still has the left lane blocked through there, so be careful with that. Westbound, everybody's kind of slowing down to take a look from 27th Street through the Stadium interchange, so something to keep in mind. Southbound on 43, slowing down from Bender Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. The northbound side is heavy right past North Avenue up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Already at today's high temperature, we've been 39, 40 degrees or thereabouts. Areas of fog today, once again, with a chance of showers. That rain will taper off. Fog will remain with a low down to 35. And Saturday and Sunday, we had temperatures in the upper 30s. Fog on Saturday, and both days mostly cloudy. Right now at 39 in Milwaukee.
Idea Man.
All my coaches would always say, just because someone asks you a question doesn't mean you need to answer it their way.
Innovative.
One of the first times we met, Mercure and I were interviewing you and Kuhn, John Kuhn. Okay. We were doing it at Radio City, and I knew a kid way back when named Scott Tozier, and I called you Scott twice in the interview.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
It never makes any sense because I'm sure right after you guys left, I'm sure John and I were probably like, look at that idiot.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
How many fights do you think you've seen that nobody ever knows about?
Probably 15, 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once every 2 or 3 years.
Couple on airplanes.
Okay.
Yeah. That was when they tried to force me to get off.
Bob Uecker, 90 years old today, celebrating Uke's birthday through the day here on WTMJ. Tausch with us on the line. You know Uke at all, Tausch?
Yeah, I've met Bob a few times, but I remember the first time, I think I went down when I was playing early in my career. He did a fishing tournament down in the greater Milwaukee area, and I don't remember who was organizing the tournament, but they said, hey, do you want to meet Uke? And I said, well, heck yeah. I'm a Brewers fan and everything else. And he was living on a boat. And I don't know if they woke him up off the boat or if he was up. He was up already, but it was kind of a weird first meeting. And then, he golfed in the Lombardi Classic. So fortunately, I've been able to bump into him from time to time, and I would think one of the all-time legends in the state of Wisconsin.
Did he call you Tauschi, or did he call you Marky? Because he throws an eye. He called me Vincey. Yeah, I know Vincey over here.
I don't remember. I don't think he called me Tauschi. I feel very confident about that. Anything else, I'm not sure.
Man, moving from
I'm tired of this guy.
Moving from playing the sport to calling the games, and I know you don't. You're an analyst now, Tausch, for the Badgers in the booth and stuff. We were talking with Gabe Neitzel, who does some play-by-play as well. Like just how hard it is. What we appreciate so much about Uke is his ability to weave a story in and out of the game action. I mean, how difficult is that?
Well, to be really good at it, I think anybody can tell a story. Is anybody interested in the story? Can you deliver it in a entertaining way? And I think the part about Bob Uecker is he's experienced everything. He's teammates with Henry Aaron. The way that the Brewers struggled for time to time, and you can just feel his passion for calling a game and the fact that that the team loves him, but the way he can just interject a story into any part of a game, and it's probably actually sometimes more intriguing than the actual game. That's why he's the best. That's why he's the best, and that's why everybody loves him, is because he's able to figure that out and understand that people are enamored with the stuff that he has to say, and he delivers it in such a, Eucharistic way.
All right, Tausch, title games are Sunday. Ravens, Chiefs, Lions, 49ers. Who do you think will win, and who do you want to win?
I think the Ravens and Niners will win, and I think they're going to be relatively easy as playoff games could be. I think both of these other teams have emptied their tanks to get to this point. Kansas City obviously going into Buffalo and winning. And I think Baltimore's the best team left. And I think Detroit, with all of their emotional capital that they've had to spend to get there. I think San Francisco played one of its worst games. They did not play well last week. And they're going to be a little more rested just because they had all that time. They're not going to be as rusty. I would love to see Detroit get there. I think that's a storyline that would be really fun. But I think it's going to be San Francisco, and I think it's going to be Baltimore. And I spent all day on this, and tell me I'm crazy, but Jesse didn't feel this way. Wildy didn't feel this way. Some of our fans didn't. I'm still not over the fact that we're not playing this Sunday. I feel like we should be, and I'm still bummed by it. And these guys are like, get over it, man. And I'm like, no, I'm not getting over it. I think we should be playing at Detroit, and we should be going to the Super Bowl. That's what I feel.
You know what? When it hits me is usually game day. Like a couple of those title games, like when the Packers lost to Seattle, it was actually the next when Super Bowl day came when it was like,
we should be here. Right. I had somebody ask me, "What you got plans this weekend?" I'm like, I don't know. I haven't thought about it because I was planning to watch football this week. Not that I won't watch, but right there with you, Tausch.
Yeah, it's crazy to think when the way the whole season played out that I could be as disappointed as I am, and I think maybe that's part of it. And the fact that everything had lined itself up for us to be playing Sunday, and the fact that we're not. San Francisco earned it; they went out and got it. But, man, it just feels like such a missed opportunity. And I think after Sunday I'll probably move on. I'll be able to take that advice that those guys gave, but I'm not going to until then. I'm going to let it fester a little bit.
It's Hollywood and Top Gun. Could have had it, man. Hey, man, we could have had it. Thanks, Tausch. Have a great weekend.
It is a deep cut.
You too.
Done, though.
Business headlines up next with the Milwaukee Business Journal's Margaret Notchek.
The most expensive apartment unit in downtown Milwaukee is within the Ascent Building at 700 East Kilbourne Avenue. A 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom unit costs $15,000 a month. Plans move forward to tear down the former Northridge Mall. The city of Milwaukee gained the court approval to take ownership of the facility. The Milwaukee Bucks are expected to sign former Philadelphia 76ers head coach and Marquette University alumni Doc Rivers to a 3.5-year contract in the range of $40 million, as first reported by The Athletic. I'm Margaret Notchek with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Kizzy for Heiser Automotive. I love talking about Heiser. You know that. I've had the privilege and the honor of driving their vehicles for the last 5 years. My newest vehicle, a 2023 Ford Explorer XLT four-wheel drive, perfect for the upcoming Wisconsin winter weather. Beautiful Atlas blue metallic color. Everybody talks about it when they see it. A great technology vehicle. Auto start-stop technology, 10-speed automatic transmission, terrain management system. How about this? 23 combined mileage highway and city. Awesome for an SUV. Heated exterior mirrors. Very cool. Roof rails, keyless access, heated front seats. Use that over the weekend. Second row captain's chairs, an upgraded interior trim. All the other great programs, safe and sound, vehicle exchange program, roadside assistance for life. Heiser even has options for mobile services for the Ford locations, 5 convenient locations to get your vehicle ready for the upcoming weather. That's why they say every day, today is your day.
Hello again, everybody. Harry Doyle here, welcoming all of you to another season of baseball.
From movies,
Just a bit outside. He tried to corner and missed.
to talk shows,
Would you welcome Bob Uecker?
and all of your favorite calls.
Yell at Sims on the right, center and deep. Get up, get out of here and go.
There's only one Mr. Baseball. Happy birthday to the great Bob Uecker. From all of us at the home of the Brewers, News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Just after 8 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, January 26th, our top story. On the heels of good economic news, the U.S. Treasury Secretary heads to Milwaukee.
I'm Eric Bilstead. An historic first in Alabama draws ire.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Eastbound 94, kind of a hefty ride, leaving the 84th Street area all the way through to about 27th. So give yourself a little bit of extra time there. Westbound side's kind of tight from 27th through the stadium interchange as well. That earlier accident, 94 eastbound at 175, has been cleared. Southbound on 43, backing up from Silver Spring all the way to Keith. Northbound's backed up from North Avenue up to Keith as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Chance of showers today in areas of fog. Already at today's high temperature of about 40 degrees. Rain should taper off with areas of fog continuing tonight and low down to 35. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, news about your money. Another high-ranking Biden administration official will be in southeast Wisconsin today.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen will be in Milwaukee, touting the president's support of unions while also touring the Wisconsin Regional Training Partnership on the city's west side. Yellen's visit comes a day after she said in an interview with ABC News the U.S. economy is not in danger of entering a recession, given new numbers suggesting the nation's GDP grew over 3% last quarter.
But no reason right now why there would be a recession this
There's
year.
no obvious reason why there would be.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The Milwaukee Fire Department will review the actions and procedures of the 911 call system. This after a woman was found dead near a city bus stop earlier this month. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports multiple calls concerning Jolene Waldriff were received by the Milwaukee Police Department, which then transferred those calls to fire. Waldriff was 49 years old. She had slipped and hit her head on a fence near 76 in Congress during the bitter cold stretch we had earlier this month. The medical examiner's office is investigating her death as probably hypothermia.
Woman who died in a house fire in Kenosha Sunday, identified now as 71-year-old Patricia Gosser. Her husband, 75 years old, Todd Gosser, he is still in the hospital suffering from smoke inhalation. 911 calls obtained by TMJ4 News suggest an oxygen tank may have been involved.
A day-long drama at the Republican National Committee ends with the member withdrawing a plan that would have declared former President Donald Trump the presumptive nominee. ABC's Andy Field.
Donald Trump has only collected about 30 of the more than 1,200 delegates he'll need to be the Republican nominee, but that did not stop a member of the RNC from proposing that the party just declare him the presumptive nominee. Sources say he didn't have the votes to do that, and former President Trump then declared he wanted to win the old-fashioned way, at the ballot box. So that plan to ignore his remaining challenger, Nikki Haley, is dead for now.
The next Republican primary in Haley's home state of South Carolina, that's February 24th.
First time since 1982, the United States has tried a new method of putting a condemned inmate to death.
Almost 34 years after Elizabeth Sennett was stabbed and beaten to death by a hitman hired by her own husband, the hitman has been executed.
Smith was pronounced deceased at 8:25 p.m.
Alabama prison official John Hamm says Edward Eugene Smith died not by lethal injection, but by nitrogen hypoxia. Witnesses said the 58-year-old writhed and struggled against the restraints in a procedure that took 22 minutes. Elizabeth Sennett's son, Mike, is at peace.
We have forgiven him.
Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Coming up, a new opportunity for Milwaukee teens aimed at making college admissions easier. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:05.
News is sponsored by BBC Lighting. Thousands of specialty light fixtures now open Saturdays 10 to 4.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With the weather getting colder, our prices get even hotter. And at our showroom, you'll see all the top brands of lighting and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Monte Carlo, and more. Our new in-store visual technology will allow you to find every light and fan from every major brand, including their price and description. And our prices are always the lowest. I guarantee it. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for Dad and the kids, and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Saturday and is located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Ring in the new year with the ultimate timeless gift, a diamond from Diamonds Direct. Whether you're ready to pop the question or celebrating a lifetime of love in 2024, Diamonds Direct can make this New Year's one to remember forever. Diamonds Direct is the area's destination for exquisite diamonds in all shapes and sizes, and our nationwide price guarantee ensures you'll get the best value, period. To showcase that spectacular diamond, we have literally thousands of designer settings from all the top names like Tacori, Verragio, Simon G, A. Jaffe, and many more. And our experts will guide you every step of the way with the education you want and the respect you deserve. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, fashion rings. At Diamonds Direct, we specialize in the ultimate symbol of love, and we welcome the opportunity to celebrate with you. So start the new year with some new excitement, new hope, and some new bling. Diamonds Direct on Mayfair Road in front of Mayfair Mall. Proud to call Milwaukee home. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:08.
Longtime leader at the Hunger Task Force, CEO Sherry Tussler, retiring after 26 years.
Imagine what Milwaukee would be like without Hunger Task Force.
Tussler tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News she's only really taking the summer off.
And then I will return as Emeritus CEO.
And the work she believes so strongly in at the Hunger Task Force will go on.
1 in 4 kids is waking up in a house with no food. They're relying on the Milwaukee Public Schools for school breakfast. There are more than 10,000 seniors that line up here in Milwaukee County to get something called the Stock Box, which is a federal program that the Hunger Task Force operates.
Wyatt Barmar-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Warming up, so the salt not necessary as much as it was earlier this month with all the cold weather and the snow we had. Today, wrapping up Winter Road Salt Awareness Week in Waukesha.
Salt concentrations are building up in lakes, streams, and drinking water.
Wisconsin SaltWise Program Manager Allison Madison says higher rates of salinization in water not only harm aquatic ecosystems, but also weaken infrastructure and can be toxic to pets.
Yes, we're putting salt down for public safety, and how do we kind of hold that next to the need for long-term safety and health of our water resources?
Madison says one simple solution is to avoid oversalting. A 12-ounce coffee mug full of salt is enough to treat a 20-foot driveway or 10 sidewalk squares. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
MPS students, future students, will be guaranteed admission either to UW Milwaukee or Milwaukee Area Technical College under a new simplified application process. Executive Director of Undergraduate Admissions at UWM, Mark Young, says if students seek admission to both schools through the process, they may be accepted to one or both. If they select only one, they're guaranteed admission to that school. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:09.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
There are many reasons to choose document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Chris McLean, co-owner of DBAT Brookfield, the baseball and softball training facility, had his reasons.
I think the biggest thing, the important things for me are effective communication and timely response.
James Imaging Systems, Kyocera copiers, Kyocera network printers, Kyocera color systems, and the James team that works with you to provide the business technology to help you thrive.
Honestly, Candy had a lot to do with it.
Candy, your James Imaging Systems Systems sales representative.
Candy built great rapport with our general manager right out of the gate. It helps that they're a local business. We're a local business as well.
James Imaging Systems, effective communication and local responsiveness.
They're a partner. James Imaging is a partner, not a vendor.
Kia Serra from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Shop Steinhoffel's Tempur-Pedic Ergo Smart Bases. They start at $42 per month with Steinhoffel's 60-month financing, and you'll get $300 in Steinhoffel's cash. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com. Steinhoffel's is your mattress destination.
Checking in with Debbie here, 11 minutes after 8.
Yep, southbound on 43, still going to be a bit of a tight ride coming in from Silver Spring, pretty much all the way down to Keefe. The northbound side is going to be a little heavy from just north of Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe as well. Eastbound 94, riding the brakes from 76th Street all the way through to the Stadium interchange. Looks like start to let up right about at 35th Street. The rest of the system seems to be moving along pretty well. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Painting Time Saver Traffic.
Boy, foggy yet today. Not as bad as it was the last couple. Did you drive late afternoon yesterday?
Holy cow.
Forget about it. It's just like a wall of soup.
Pea soup.
So that fog will dissipate by the weekend. Still have it hanging around today with a high of 40 degrees. Areas of fog tonight with rain tapering off and a low down to 35. And then for your Saturday and Sunday, both days temperatures in the upper 30s under mostly cloudy skies. Right now we're at 39 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Bullseye! 8:12 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Favorite thing we've done today is celebrate Bob Uecker's 90th birthday. Hall of Famer, wonky play-by-play man for the Brewers for more than a half a century. I don't know that Ueck's celebrating his birthday, but we are.
We've got southbound 43 backing up now.
Hey, Debbie.
Did some angels this morning out in the snow to celebrate?
And so we're going to do something special a little bit later in the show. Eric found what was, and a lot of Brewers fans probably even remember it. It was that good of a story. What was it, like early 2000s?
Mid-2000s, July 4th, Pittsburgh, Brewers and Pirates, opening inning, top half of the inning. They get into this long conversation about people wearing animal costumes in a convention at their hotel.
There was a furry convention in town, and Ueck encountered some of the furries and tells this really long story.
And what makes it even better is that the inning just never ends, so they just like keep
Plenty
going
of time for it.
and keep going.
You don't like this one, you don't like sliced bread. That's what I say. What a game.
So we're going to play like pretty much the whole thing.
We'll go unprecedented.
It's abridged.
Yes.
You cut out a couple of things here and there just to move it along. But we're going to play the whole thing. It's a classic coming up at about 20 minutes before 9.
Big Memorial Day celebrations all around the country. This was always one of my favorite days as a kid growing up. The parades that were organized each and every Memorial Day. You got a flag. You got a little cup of ice cream, and you march for about 25 miles, and then you hope you ended up in the same house you left.
What's that even about? A couple of things I want to get to as we start off this hour of the show. Going back to the news, do you make any sense of this effort among the Republican National Committee to declare former President Donald Trump the quote-unquote presumptive nominee? We had that story there in the top of the hour news. Trump himself actually later opposed it and said, nah, I'd actually rather not have you do that. This is what he posted to his social media platform, True Social. Finish the process off at the ballot box. So Trump opposed the effort, but what was it about initially?
Yeah, this came from Maryland. The RNC committeeman from Maryland who had been endorsing Trump had said, hey, let's just do this. Let's just make you the nominee. Let's not have to worry about all the rest of the primaries and whatnot. Now, according to Politico and CNN, initially Trump campaign's like, okay, yeah, sure. But then once they started seeing the backlash, which I would assume everyone would have.
2 states have voted. 2.
I don't understand. This is so not the party to do something like that. So this to even be floated out there. So yeah, so then once they started to see the backlash, Trump went on social and was like, "Yeah, no, we're not interested in that." And now Nikki Haley's camp, they're using this as leverage for some fundraising, saying, "Hey, look what they're trying to do. They
want you to not even have a chance.
Yeah, they're trying to take away your vote." So,
don't know if that will ultimately work out for. I guess there are some particulars that mattered by him being declared the presumptive nominee. This from CNN: former president would still have needed to reach delegate requirements if the resolution had been approved. Yes, but basically what it does is it allows him to start fundraising in cooperation with the RNC. RNC basically says, all right, Trump's the guy, and we're going to start coordinating. Yeah. We're going to open up these fundraising things, and we're just going to go forward as it's a perfect name, presumptive nominee.
Right.
And then we'll just let these primaries continue to play out however they would.
It doesn't sound like something the GOP would ever do.
When I don't get why we're in such a hurry. And I appreciate here in Wisconsin what we've had, and I don't know if this happens nationally, but here in Wisconsin, particularly on the GOP side, when you have a bitter-fought primary election between two people of the same party, it can damage the nominee. Mm-hmm. And you certainly saw that between Clayfish and Michaels. You saw that between former Justice Kelly and Rebecca Darrow.
There have been primaries for as long as the country's been around in some fashion, right? So why now all of a sudden are we worried about primaries beating each other up?
Right. It's just
Is it just because the strategy of our campaigns are so vicious? Is that part of the problem?
And then in fairness, some of us, as soon as we've made fun of some of the politicians already who have dropped out of the presidential race, where yesterday they're beating up on, I'm in here beating up on Eric, telling you he's the worst person in the world, and today I'm like, you know what? Eric's a great guy. He ran a great campaign. I like him. I might even put him in the cabinet.
I really do.
Really done a great job.
Maybe
Does wonderful thing. Eric, thank you. Thank you for your, So we make fun of him for that, but I guess what are we in such a hurry for? 2 states have voted. Can we let it play out a little bit? And if these various campaigns say we're out of money, we can't continue to sustain the campaign, that's their business. But for the party to step in, I do think that was an unusual move. They ultimately decided not to do that, but that seems to be put to rest. Can I ask you about another thing? So you've been monitoring a couple of things that have been happening at City Hall. Did we have another one of these meetings yesterday?
Yes.
Where we talk about changing the speed limit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Public Safety Committee meeting was held yesterday, and reckless driving and checking up on reckless driving, how's it going type of thing. That was one of the conversations. It's one of the line items. And Marina Dimitrievich, the alderwoman she's on the committee, she asked, hey, is it possible still, can we consider lowering the speed limit, from 25 to, say, 20 in many areas?
I see it every single day that people are just going way too fast on the city streets every day. Yeah. And I just always say to people, if you want to go faster like that, then use a different route. Use the freeways. That's a high speed. Otherwise, if you're in the city of Milwaukee, there's no need to go. I can't see any negative impact. I would like the analysis of reducing speeds.
So they did discuss it a little bit, and one of the options that's been more widely considered is, okay, do you lower the speeds in some of the high-impact roads where there are issues, right? And that's generally not some of the residential areas as much as it's some of the more highly used
what's
roads.
Capitol Drive-in spots?
Right.
Is it 45?
Yeah, you lower it there versus...
So lower that to 35 or something like that. Yeah. I don't know. You and I have we see this a little bit differently. I don't think we actually disagree, but we kind of say the same things about it. I always say, put whatever number you want on that sign. Go ahead. Put 7. Speed limit here is 7. The people who are killing people on our roadways don't care what that number is. It could be anything. The sign might as well not even be there.
Well, and my point is that I don't think the people that are killing people are always bad guys or always Kia boys stealing cars. It's not always some suspect. Sometimes it's just someone going to work. There are those
going
moments.
Too fast and not paying enough attention.
Sometimes we assume that anyone who's driving recklessly is stealing a car, and that's not true.
Where you tend to win me over on the argument, and you heard Alderwoman Dimitrievich make it as well. Right. What does it hurt if we do this, right? Are we causing any harm?
No.
Probably not.
It does cost money, right? If you're going to change every
a whole bunch of signs,
it does cost money, but, is it actually going to make people drive faster and kill more people? Unlikely, but will it actually help? Who knows?
Hey, while we're on City Hall, can Can you play that bite again from the guy who called into the meeting?
So this was 2 days ago at the Public Works Committee that's led by Bob Bauman. He's the chair of that one.
And the reason I want to bring it up is because it didn't occur to me yesterday when we were playing it. But, all right, play the thing and then let me play out the scenario that happened in my silly brain.
So some of the facilitators of the BRT, which is the bus rapid transit that you love.
Speaking of silly.
Yeah, you don't like that. But anyway, that's from the lakefront down to the medical college. That
I
BRT.
saw that empty old bus running up Wisconsin Avenue yesterday.
Anyway, so they were going through, they're just giving a presentation of what the numbers look like right now. And there was another guy from
7.
MCTS.
Those are the numbers.
There's another guy from MCTS who is part of the agenda, but they had not reached out to him yet. He was Zoom. The other guys were in person. And they started to move on to the next light item before he got to speat.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone.
Item 12, 231. Pardon me? Hello, who?
Hey?
This is Jesus Ochoa with Water Country Transit System. I believe our line item was added to this line item.
Struggling to hear you, buddy. There's a little bit of gobbledygook going on there.
Like, he never got a chance to testify, right?
Right.
To,
he had
to
not,
give his,
he had
say
not
his
said anything to present whatever he was asked to present.
Because Bauman tossed him.
Well, yeah.
You had that?
Yeah. So anyway, what happened next was, okay, well, we can't hear you.
We really couldn't hear you. We really couldn't hear you very well. It was all garbled and broken up. Sorry. Is this better?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, still can't hear it. All right, we're moving on to the next one.
So he lost his shot. So,
in deference to the chair, you could hear him better.
Well, that's my favorite part is, listen, you can hear Stamper and Brostoff say, yeah, you're good.
Yeah, we can hear it.
Well, it was all garbled and broken up. Sorry. Is this better?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, still can't hear it.
No,
All right,
we're moving on. Sorry, guy.
2 people said, yeah, it was better, but he's like, nope, moving on.
So we kind of laughed at Alderman Bauman, who chairs that committee, but it occurred to me, that's a guy on the other end who probably had some sort of important business to discuss with the council
and spend time
in whatever
preparing his notes.
Right? Maybe what if it was a big deal to him?
Data. Oh, you mean like he was just looking forward to doing it?
Yeah, maybe he was really looking forward to having his opportunity. Who knows? Maybe it's an idea he's been waiting years to. They're finally going to listen to me. They finally yes, I'm on the agenda. I'm going to get to say what my big idea is here.
Or maybe he had called his mom and like the whole family was going to be watching on
he comes down
Channel 25 or whatever.
For breakfast. That's a nice tie, honey. You're going to look good there at the council today.
His wife told everyone on Facebook.
Yeah, you can watch on the City Channel. He's going to be on TV.
He went upstairs and shut the door, made sure it was quiet there, told all the kids, hey, be quiet.
Took a deep breath before he logged onto the Zoom. All right, here we go. Right. Kids, quiet now. Your father's going to be testifying at the council.
Oh, no.
Right. And
it sounded so good.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Item 12, 231. Pardon me? Hello, who?
Hello, who?
This is Jesus Ochoa with Water Country Transit System. I believe our line item was added to this line item for people to stop.
Yeah, that's it.
So how did it go? 8:23, Wisconsin's Morning News. Debbie, what do you see on the roads there?
I'm seeing some delays. Southbound 43 from just about Hampton Avenue down past Capitol Drive to about Keefe. The northbound side slow from north to Keefe. So there we go. Eastbound 94, a little bit tight coming in from Hawley Road all the way through the Stadium interchange. The rest of the system actually is looking pretty good. Just keep an eye out for some of those areas of fog that might be causing some visibility issues. But overall, everything else seems to be moving along pretty well. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
For the latest on Capitol Hill, tune in to CBS's Chief Washington Correspondent, Major Garrett.
Look, everyone understands a certain amount of privacy, but guess what? You become a cabinet secretary, you give up some of your privacy. That's what comes with the job, and everybody knows. And I would say this to the cabinet secretary in the Obama administration, the George W. Bush administration, the Clinton administration, all of which I covered, the Trump administration, or the Biden administration.
Thursdays at 3:45 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. And now, time for the Matzik Morning Minute. Take it away, Greg Matzik.
Milwaukee Bucks forward Giannis Antetokounmpo and guard Damian Lillard have been selected as starters for the 2024 NBA All-Star Game. It's the 8th consecutive All-Star Game selection for Giannis. Lillard will be a starter for the first time in his career. Bucks on the floor tonight taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's game number 2 for interim head coach Joe Prunty.
This is not an easy thing to do. And circumstances are always different. But like I said, you just do. Time doesn't stand still. You got to keep moving forward.
Coverage begins following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. College basketball, 13th-ranked Wisconsin hosts Michigan State tonight at the Kohl Center for a 7 o'clock tip. 14th-ranked Marquette is on the home floor Saturday afternoon against Seton Hall. Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, and Dak Prescott, your finalists for the NFL MVP award. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur not named a finalist for the NFL's Coach of the Year award. Championship Sunday in the NFL features the Ravens and Chiefs from Baltimore, followed by the Lions and 49ers from San Francisco.
Matzik Morning Minute, sponsored by Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. It's worth the trip.
Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac, where the New Year's sales event is on. Perfect timing to experience a new all-wheel drive Mazda, score enticing offers, get more Mazda for your money, and more for your trade. Well-qualified buyers say yes to finance rates as low as 0% for 5 years on favorites, including Mazda CX-5, CX-30, and CX-50. Enjoy Team Holiday's award-winning guest care. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda Fond du Lac and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, along with a simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
The next time they ask you what size tires you need, just go to richlawns.com.
That's Richlawn spelled with 2 N's.
No more trying to read that tiny writing on the side of your old tires or on the inside of your car door.
Just go to richlawns.com, click on the year button, then the make and model of your vehicle, and
the exact tire size you need.
In a multitude of brands and styles.
Yet all specific to your vehicle, because at Richlawns, there isn't a tire on the planet we can't get.
And every tire we install automatically comes with free flat tire repair, which means you're 100% covered, no questions asked.
The next time you're due for tire service, visit richlawns.com.
Because free flat tire repair automatically comes with every tire we install.
I'm Brett Matchke with Richlawns. You're due for service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richlawns Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlawns.
.828 Wisconsin's Morning News on this Friday morning. Still coming up, we do something we wouldn't normally do. We're going to give up a big chunk of the show to a big old long euchre story.
Unprecedented.
Right? We're just going to let it play.
So essentially, it's basically the first half inning of a game. And it goes on, the story goes on.
Story goes on for a minute.
And we're just going to let it go.
That's coming up about 20 minutes before 9 o'clock. Want to get this out in front of folks. The state of Alabama executed a guy Thursday night in a way that has not been done in the U.S. before.
Smith was pronounced deceased by physicians at 8:25 p.m. Central Standard Time.
We're going to hear a lot about this in the news today. Kenneth Eugene Smith, he lost an 11th hour, last-minute appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court. He was executed by way of nitrogen hypoxia. There's not been an execution this way before in the U.S. The United Nations Human Rights Office in Geneva, Switzerland, was monitoring and protesting.
There are reports that it may have taken up to 25 minutes. It's unclear exactly. And he was writhing and clearly suffering.
That's the UN Human Rights spokesperson there. So they weren't protesting so much the death penalty in and of itself, but more how the execution occurred. ABC's Chuck Severson describes the method, and then in here you're going to hear a witness. They always have people who are, some of them are journalists who are brought in specifically to serve as a witness for the event. and then they give an account of what has happened.
Right.
After a steak, eggs, and home fries last meal and a Supreme Court majority refused to stop it, Kenneth Smith said tonight Alabama causes humanity to take a step backwards. A mask put on his face delivered oxygen, gradually replaced with nitrogen. An Alabama journalist, Ivana Hrincruz, saw it.
For about 2 minutes following that, Kenneth Smith shook and writhed for about 2 minutes on a gurney.
After deep breaths, he passed out and died. Chuck Severson, ABC News.
Now, you correctly point out, Eric, earlier, Smith chose this method of execution.
Right. He asked for this.
Only because it was an option presented to him after a botched attempt. They tried to kill him a little more than a year ago by lethal injection. It was some issue. They couldn't find a vein or something. It didn't work, and so this came back up. Now, he was one of 3 men convicted in a murder-for-hire plot of brutally stabbing Elizabeth Sennett to death 35 years ago. And there is a lot of coverage today about Ken Smith and his ordeal. And was that the way that he should go? And should we even have the death penalty? You and I are kind of in agreement on this. I don't know either or on the death penalty. I'm on the fence on that one.
But a woman is dead because of him.
And that's the most important part. This woman was brutally stabbed to death. Mike Sennett is her son. And in a statement after the execution, he said this: Kenneth Smith made some bad decisions 35 years ago, and his debt was paid tonight. I guess I'll end by saying that Elizabeth Dorleen Sennett got her justice tonight. 8:31 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, Gene Miller for Forest Ridge Senior Residences, a caring community known for its small-town friendliness while offering luxury living in a big way. Nestled in the village of Hales Corners, Forest Ridge delivers first-class amenities, accommodating active lifestyles with entertainment and transportation. Enter through the fully renovated community center with exquisite dining to see our brand-new 1- and 2-bedroom apartments, where your rent is frozen until 2026. Come tour Forest Ridge Senior Residences today. Call 414-485-9507.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for Comfort Awnings, and do me a favor, if you can, look out the window. Is it gloomalicious, cloudy, foggy, basically dreary? Well, you may want to remember this for the future. Later on, this will serve as a good comparison to the sunny weather we will eventually get. Too much sun, you say? Well, I've got a solution for that. Give the gang at Comfort Awnings a call. With their help, you can get a brand new retractable awning for your backyard. They are the awnings and screenings experts. They'll come to your house, they'll do some measurements and give you some suggestions on how you can expand your living space into your backyard. But it's winter, Debbie. Too soon, you say? Actually, this is the best time to have them come out to your home so they can put in the order, get it installed so you're ready on day one of nice weather. And right now, you'll get a free motor with the purchase of awnings or screens until the end of January. Give them a call at 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Happy New Year from Heiser Automotive. There's no time like now to refresh your ride, whether that means a new car or making sure your current car is winterized and ready to go. For our customers, we've created the Safe and Sound program. Every sale includes the exchange program. Don't love it? Exchange it. Convenient service. Use our new mobile service van. We'll come to you. Lifetime roadside assistance and much more. Stop in or shop online. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
When we come back from a trip, but our luggage does not, that's usually not a good thing. But what about the invisible baggage we carry? Our old sins and regrets. Hear how God's forgiveness in Christ is a gift from far away that puts those regrets away as far as the East is from the West. Our guest speaker is Dr. Dan Pavela, this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Celebrate a birthday, anniversary, or retirement this week with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill. Buy one dinner, get one free, 7 nights a week. Google Fox and Hounds restaurant and enjoy your free dinner.
It's 8:34. I'm Adam Roberts. Your top story, a new role for a longtime state senator.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We do have an accident now, 4394 southbound of the Beecher off-ramp, so watch out for that. We've got southbound 43 slowing down from Hampton all the way down past Keefe. Northbound's heavy from North Avenue to Keefe. And then on westbound 94, that's actually moving along very well from the Marquette all the way through the Zoo, with the eastbound side tightening up just a bit as you're getting out of the stadium interchange. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Shower chances today with areas of fog in your storm team forecast for meteorologist Brendan Johnson. High today, about 40 degrees. Rain will taper off tonight. Areas of fog and a low of 35. Right now, 37 and cloudy skies in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, State Senator Lena Taylor of Milwaukee has been appointed to the Milwaukee County Circuit Court by Governor Tony Evers, meaning she will vacate her Senate seat effective today. During Taylor's time in the legislature since 2003, she has authored and passed into law more than 120 pieces of legislation, chaired the Senate Judiciary Committee, and served as co-chair of the Joint Committee on Finance. Taylor's appointment to the court will be effective on Tuesday. News about your money. Another high-ranking Biden administration official will be in southeast Wisconsin today. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen will be in Milwaukee, touting President Biden's support of unions and touring a jobs training facility on the city's west side. Her visit does come one day after, in an interview with ABC News, Yellen said the U.S. economy is not in danger of entering a recession, given new numbers suggesting the nation's GDP grew over 3% last quarter.
But no reason right now why there would be a recession this year.
There's no obvious reason why there would be.
We'll have a check of the market numbers coming up in just a few minutes. Longtime Hunger Task Force CEO Sherry Tussler is retiring after 26 years.
Imagine what Milwaukee would be like without Hunger Task Force.
Tussler tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News she's only really taking the summer off.
And then I will return as emeritus CEO.
And the work she believes so strongly in at the Hunger Task Force will go on.
1 in 4 kids is waking up in a house with no food. They're relying on the Milwaukee Public Schools for school breakfast. There are more than 10,000 seniors that line up here in Milwaukee County to get something called the Stock Box, which is a federal program that the Hunger Task Force operates.
Wyatt Barmar-Pooley, WTMJ News.
And today is the final day of Waukesha's Winter Road Salt Awareness Week. The Wisconsin Saltwise Partnership is advocating for right-sizing salt use on roads.
The salt applied to icy roads, driveways, and parking lots ends up in our fresh water, and just 1 teaspoon can permanently pollute 5 gallons of water. UW-Madison researcher Hillary Dugan speaking at a virtual education session this week.
In the 2020s, as a country, we're using about 20 million tons of salt a year. Of all of the salt that's consumed in this country, half of it's being used for roads.
She says one solution is to use a brine instead of solid rock salt.
Places using brine are able to use a lot less. And so in the end, it would just be a much smaller volume that's washing off.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow Jones up 24 points to start the day at 38,073, while the S&P 500 basically starting the day where it finished yesterday at 4,892, while the Nasdaq is down 32 points this morning to 15,480. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:38.
Coming up.
Who knew it took a rat hole to get Chicago to come together?
I am honored to be here.
Nice job, Chicago.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores, Highway 100 and Layton Avenue, 23rd and Lincoln. Great stores, great cause, and unbelievable bargains. You're going to love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
This report is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
I couldn't even bend over, but now after stem cell treatment, I can deadlift a house.
Now this is an exaggeration, but I do hear about unbelievable miracle outcomes, and I have to ask, do you really believe them? If they were true, these biological treatments wouldn't even have to be advertised. Truth is, stem cell effectiveness is nowhere near 100. At Rejuvenix, our FDA-approved pharmacological treatments ease inflammation and reduce pain. They're precisely administered to where your pain lives, and they work. Will the pain reduction last forever? No. But in some cases, relief has lasted as long as 24 months, and in most cases, insurance has paid for the treatments entirely. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenix Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenix. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
I'm attorney David Gruber. You've heard our slogan thousands of times, but we are much more than just one call. We are one team, one community, one family, and we're the one law firm that can get you the results and compensation you deserve after a serious accident. Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Sun, fun, fun, fun. Sun. Every kind of boat under the sun.
That boat show music is back, and so is Wisconsin's largest boat show. Everything from family runabouts, ski and surf boats, fishing boats, luxury pontoons, and more Great Lakes cruisers and motor yachts. We have the boats. Shop for skis, boards, and tubes at the Tubers Truckload Sale. Check MilwaukeeBoatShow.com. January 19 through 28, State Fair Park.
8:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Coming up, big old long story from Bob Uecker as we celebrate Uke's 90th birthday.
Put away the snowplow and come on out.
Worth every minute. Chicago's biggest attraction is what?
The Bean, Willis Tower, Navy Pier.
Museum of Science and Industry.
Ooh, that's a good one. The aquarium's cool.
None of those things. It's the Rat Hole.
Chicago's latest attraction is the Rat Hole. It all started when an unfortunate rat got stuck in the sidewalk during its construction in Chicago's Roscoe Village neighborhood years ago.
Credit to Max Vitrano, 16 years old, for bringing this to my attention.
Good.
Dad, did you guys talk about the Rat Hole? I'm like, I don't know from this. So he starts pulling up all these videos. Maybe it was a rat, maybe it was a squirrel. There's apparently some debate over it.
Yeah, there is debate over that.
But the imprint of a sort of small rodent in some concrete on the sidewalk. Apparently it's been there for a long time. But some locally known artist posted about it on social media, and it blew up. And now people are coming out to the Rat Hole and paying various tributes.
Now, dozens are paying their respects to the rat, dubbed Chimley, with coins, alcohol, flowers, and, of course, cheese.
Hail, Rat Hole.
Hail, Rat.
Come on.
These nutbags are showing up. A couple showed up on a date. There was a Rat Hole wedding. People got married at it.
Date.
Showed a guy in one of those like a mini bar bottles of whiskey, dumping it in the Rat Hole.
This is satire. This is for fun. Come on.
It's so funny. Well, it's not very fun for the neighbors. The reason it's making the news down there right now is all the Chicago TV stations are reported. The neighbors have had it, and they're posting signs, and they're saying stuff like, hey, people live here, and it's loud, and they're people. They said that
Please stop leaving stuff down there.
Right, there's trash all over, and they said the mailman won't come and drop their mail. Letter carrier won't, because there are too many people.
What? Nor sleet, nor snow, nor hordes of people.
Yeah, but Rat
near
Hole, that I don't play. Nice job, Chicago.
Who knew it took a rat hole to get Chicago to come together?
I am honored to be here.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why, through the end of February, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 13 years, Adam has provided more than 2.4 million meals to people in southeastern Wisconsin. And now, the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
Did some angels this morning out in the snow to celebrate?
Vince Vitrano here for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. We've had really icy conditions. Boy, I hope nobody had a fall. But if maybe you did, or you were slipping and sliding and felt something, that doesn't feel right, go out and visit the folks at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. At least get it checked out. Now, you can book an appointment anytime online, but if you need relief now, you don't have to spend hours waiting in line at the emergency room or paying big hospital prices. The Ortho ASAP Clinic has hours Monday through Saturday in Pewaukee, Monday through Friday at their location in Brookfield, right near Brookfield Square. You just walk right in. Sprains, strains, dislocations, even fractures. They can give you an x-ray right there on site. Faster, easier, likely less expensive than a trip to the ER or urgent care. And now you're in the good hands of the folks at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Walk right in at the Ortho ASAP clinics or make an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Chris and Tim closed their first loan with Accunet $116,000 ago in terms of the median sales price in southeastern Wisconsin. We helped their daughter buy a home earlier this year, and now we're helping them buy their retirement condo. We're told there were 3 offers, 2 cash offers, and Chris and Tim's offer backed up by an Accunet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval. All 3 offers were probably over the asking price, but we're surmising Chris and Tim's offer was the highest because when the sellers asked the listing broker if they could count on the offer with the pre-approval letter, the answer was simply, Accunet really does their homework. It's not easy to beat a cash offer over the asking price, but that's exactly what Tim and Chris did with some help from their trusted family mortgage lender. If you don't think the lender's name on your pre-approval letter matters, think again. It's still a seller's market in the Badger State, so click on the blue button at Accunet.com today to get started with your rock-solid, guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
Staples stores provide innovative products and services for small business, remote workers and learners, even teachers and parents. Explore more at your local Staples store.
You just can't pass on Less is Glass. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
8:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Happy 90th birthday to WTMJ's Milwaukee Brewers' Bob Uecker.
Pitching-wise, you can't keep asking guys to go out there and throw shutouts and, 1 or 2 run games all the time. Hello? Yes, you're on.
Yeah, hello. Caller, you're on the air. Love me some Bob Uecker. So we're going to do something we wouldn't normally do.
Unprecedented.
We're just going to kind of turn it over to Ueck and play one of his full-out stories.
Brewers, Pirates, PNC Park, July 4th, 2007. Ueck and his partner at the time, Jim Powell, discussed something that they saw at the hotel before the game. So we're just going to let this rip because they come in hot. You can tell that they're just ready to roll from the very opening pitch. Here we go.
On the 4th of July, everybody's All-American, Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker.
Medication kicked in, huh?
Sorry, I don't have any fireworks to light off or anything. I got all this stuff built up inside.
I got some fireworks for you. Big fireworks show following last night's game. They'll have more of the same today. Big convention here. The Furriers are in town. All kind of big stuff going on. Throw to first, and the runner is back. Big convention at the Players Hotel here. Lobby filled with animal lookalikes. Some are here today at the ballpark, chained. Counsel waiting the pitch. It's a strike, and it's 0-1.
So what's up with that? I noticed some of that going on in the lobby today.
I did too. I got bit by one. And I liked it, I might add.
People dressed up
as animals. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, they're wearing actual costumes, have their faces painted, and kind of a weird look, but I guess that's their thing. 1 ball and 1 strike.
What do these people call themselves?
Furriers, I believe.
The Furriers?
Furriers, yeah, they're having a fur ball tonight. And from PNC Park, they're way fur away. Counsel waits. Here it is, and it's outside. 2 balls and a strike. You saw them this morning at the hotel, didn't you?
I didn't know what I was looking at, and I got out of there real quick like.
Yeah, the Pennsylvania Animal Society down there to make sure none of the members of that convention are infected with anything. Licenses being issued this morning.
I didn't even think about that.
Well, yeah, they were all checking in just before the team bus left. Matter of fact, 2 of them are still on the front of the bus. They can get out of the driveway in time, and boom, boom.
Roadkill.
Yeah. Furriers.
I think I may pass on the hotel restaurant tonight.
Here's the pitch outside the ball.
I think
they have their dinner dance tonight.
I'm sure people think we're making this up.
We're not making it up. No, I had never seen them before, but that's what it said on the hotel agenda for happenings today. Bigfoot. There really is a Bigfoot. I saw one this morning.
Really?
Guy had about a 24 on. Woo. 1 and 2 on the Brewers' third baseman.
Oh, by the way,
people,
baseball.
They dress as animals, and they come together once a year for a convention.
This year it happens to be in Pittsburgh.
And what is it that they do? I mean, conventions usually have meetings and talk about things and figure out where you're going, what you're doing.
They do a little of that. They kind of gather in like a huge fur ball. You can't really see the leader. He's in the middle.
The leader.
You can hear him mumbling and talking, trying to talk. They're just trying to keep them warm. And
okay.
Yeah. There were a couple of suffocations, I guess, last year.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Revived, I might add, by personnel at the hotel. They told us that this morning. That's going to be quite a thing tonight. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what's going to happen there.
The fur ball.
The fur ball. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Furrier Society, I believe it is, and then they have this dinner dance catered by, I believe it's, I better not say this, it might be wrong. I don't want to give somebody credit if they're not. Here's the pitch. Braun sends a drive in the deep center, way back. Get up. Get out of here. Gone for Ryan Braun. A booming 3-run home run in the opening inning, and the Brewers have the lead at 3-0. I believe the dinner is going to be catered by Purina. That's
okay.
Again, I'm not sure. So it ought to be a lot of fun tonight.
Are you thinking about going to the dance, maybe?
Is
it a dance?
It is if you want to. Sometimes you just stand in place and move, depending on what kind of animal you are. Kent Sommerfeld has looked it up. What is their logo, Kent? What is their...
The animals have a website?
They wear animal costumes because they feel a little animalish. There's a strike. I've felt that way myself a couple times. I haven't dressed up for it. I've worn a fig leaf or two, but...
Not quite the same.
No, it's... Here's the pitch. Jenkins is swinging a miss on a changeup, and it's 0-2. But they do travel the country and have their meetings in different cities, and we were lucky enough to be here today.
Do they have a web address?
We're checking with Kent Sommerfeld.
Come on, Kent.
Now, there's nothing profane on their site or anything,
No.
is there?
No.
Okay, so it's alt.lifestyle.furry. Furry.
Well, Kent says Fury, but it's furry.
If you've had a couple of those animals mad at you, you'd be thinking about Fury also.
Mm-hmm. Swinging a bouncer up the middle and played by Wilson. The toss to second is not in time. All right, we gave them guys enough.
I don't know about that.
Well, we'll see tonight. I'm going to the. I may talk for a couple of minutes just to pay for our food and beverages.
You're the keynote speaker?
No, I'm not the keynote speaker. I'm going to be sort of a master of ceremonies.
Sort of.
How much more?
Longest inning ever.
This is only the top half, right?
1 ball and no strikes on Ricky Weeks.
And you know, for many, many years, Bob, I've been waiting to ask you this question on behalf of Kent Sommerfeld. But if you were an animal, what animal would you be?
I think I would go along with. I think Kent wanted to be a. Here's a strike on the inside corner. It's 1-1. Did he want to be a panther? I think some years ago we had this question brought up, and I don't know. Ken was doing a Marquette game and just screamed out he wanted to be an animal. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here it is. Ricky took it high, and it's 2-1.
I really don't believe in coincidences, and I note that this particular convention is here at the same time Kent is, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
I think we'll know tomorrow a little bit more about tonight. I'll have an update. I'm swinging a bouncer up along third, but foul.
You dodged my question, or Kent's question.
You can go on MySpace and.
It's in your MySpace page. Which kind of animal you want to be?
The whole story, everything,
all of it,
everything. What animal I was before I became humanized. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. I knew this was going to be a bad day. Here it is, swinging a roller, foul again up along third. As soon as I saw that fur ball walking in the lobby, I knew I was going to have a bad day today.
Well, think of all the people back home that are having their 3rd hot dog right now and on about their 4th ice milk.
Yeah.
And they're thinking, my goodness,
this doesn't look good.
I can't, I've consumed too much.
This doesn't look good. Unless it's Usingers.
Then you're okay.
Everything's okay. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Nice plug.
Ricky is swinging a foul again at the big hot dog eating contest today in New York. I think that's over now. We may have the winner before we get through this first inning. Chestnut versus Kobayashi. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. How do you eat 60 hot dogs in 12 minutes? Whew.
Got to be some kind of animal.
Oh, I'm telling you. That's what we have here today. I'll bet that's what they're doing over there. Ricky is swinging a miss, and the inning is finally over. Brewers get 3 in at the end of 1/2 inning of play. Back to baseball. Brewers 3, Pirates coming up.
Yada, yada, yada. The Brewers lost.
They lose the game.
4th of July. 8:55, Wisconsin's
Happy birthday,
Morning
Bobs.
Had a Chevy V8 with Naugahyde seats. Family station wagon, 1973.
Well, southbound on 43, we are looking at a little bit of a backup from Capitol Drive down past to about, I would say about Keefe. Northbound side slowing down from Locust up to Keefe. We've got one other accident, southbound 4394 at Beecher Street's off-ramp. It's not really in traffic. It's just something to keep in mind if you're going to be heading down in that neck of the woods. Might be a little bit of a hiccup there. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Happy birthday to the man whose voice we all know oh so well.
Swing and a drive to right and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Go!
Bob Uecker. 90 years young and still sounding great. Looking forward to another season full of this.
He just hit a walk-off grand slam home run.
We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Ken, open me another beer. Oh, are we on?
Calm the chaos in this new year with a redesigned closet, garage, or spare bedroom from Inspired Closets. Vince Vitrano here, fresh off a recent inspiring visit to the Inspired Closets showroom. They're out in Waukesha, right near Gerke's Corners, and it's not just closets. You'll notice that as soon as you walk in. Katie and Dan are a wife-husband team. They can help you transform an entire room, a functional and beautiful entertainment center. One of the displays there has a full spare bedroom. It's an office if you like, and then it's got one of those Murphy beds. That's the one that